what you want now? Feels like you're looking for something better. Is this what you want now? Or is it because you can't forget her? I can't keep pretending it's not getting to me. It's never ending. Can't give you what you need. You're misbehaving. Yeah, it's getting to me. It's never ending. You can give anything, so you can go, yeah. So I can focus. I just need to focus on myself. Yeah, you better go, so I can focus. I just need to focus on myself. This is what I want now, and yeah, I'm waiting for something better. This is what I want now. No, I won't settle for anything else. I can't keep pretending it's not getting to me. It's never ending. Can't give you what you need. Oh no, you're misbehaving. Yeah, it's getting to me. It's never ending. You can give anything, so you can go, yeah. So I can focus. I just need to focus on myself. Oh, you better go, yeah. So I can focus. I just need to focus on myself. Yeah. So you can go, so I can focus. I just need to focus on myself. Yeah. You better go, so I can focus. I just need to focus on myself, baby.
Okay. And we're dancing. I accidentally pressed preview, which is hella weird because I didn't mean to press that. Anyway, what's up, gang? We are here. We are here. Absolutely fine. Fine. Okay, so good morning. Today is kind of crazy. It's been hella busy. As you know, if you are watchers of the actual news, not that I want you to watch that mess. It's kind of depressing. Hawaii has been under some crazy rain the last couple of days. So, like, we are absolutely inundated with water, raining like crazy. And we have been, anything that goes with storms, blackouts happen, or, internet might drop. So if anything freaks out, don't blame me, blame the sky. But we will do our best to keep it going, get it twisted. I see that my family is up in the building. Mr. Graham, Mr. Riley, Miss Elaine Dempsey, Mr. Rob Vols, a.k.a. the Disney blog, is in the building. Good to see you here. Keely, holla at your boy. All right, Keely, we're going to talk about you today, ma'am. And for that, I love you. Let's go. We got Miss Michelle in the building. Get your fans out. Get your fans out. Yes, group, talking about the HomePod being discontinued to focus on the mini. I'm going to tell you what. I got two minis, and I had a big one. Honestly, it sounds crazy because I'm an audio kind of guy. I actually prefer the minis better in a way. They're a little bit more discreet, but the sound that comes out of those things are crazy. At $100, they're a little bit more accessible. So 2 minis in the room. Actually, at the old price of the old HomePod at $250, you could put 3 minis in the room and have better sound, with the way they connect to each other. So I see it. People ain't going to be happy about it, but I see it. That's not what we talk about around here, but you caught me, and I'm a nerd, so my bad. Yeah, we caffeinated in the mug because, hey, that coffee, oh, goodness, it's so good. And Mr. Gloss champion, good to see you here. Okay, fam, if your name didn't get called during this Romper Room morning roll call, it's because you are not here. But that's okay. That means you are either watching on the replay, squad, and make sure you put that down in the below. Let us know that you're watching on the replay, or you're brand new around these parts. And, if you're brand new, let us know so everybody can give you your proper alohas, salutations, and welcome. We dance a little hula, and, welcome you to the ohana. That's how we do around here. If you don't know who hey, you lucky. I am Doc Rock. I am that guy that helps you get it twisted with your YouTube and live streaming. We try to help you glow up so that you can produce better content. That is the primary focus of this thing. And, now that a lot of business folks are getting back in and trying to find ways to stay connected with their tribe, live video, straight up, is one of the best ways to do it. It's, man, there's so many things to say about it. Like, it's really good. But we'll talk about that a little bit. Today, we're going to talk about some things, and I want to help out my sister Keely, make sure she has her RCP dialed in tight. Yeah, it's off the chain. Rich, that would be a $2,000 coffee machine would be dope, except for it's $2,800. I just had to say that.
Coño.
No, but it's dope. I mean, regardless of, it's funny, Rich, it's funny. This is the craziest thing, but let's put this on value. We talk about this all the time, and I try to help you guys, and I understand, like let's not get it twisted. I'm not a dummy. Money is money, right? And it's a real thing. And it's a real thing for myriad reasons, right? But what's more important to average human beings than money itself is value proposition. But no one, like almost no one, I shouldn't say no one, most people never discuss value proposition. And I think I've said this about 100 times. Not a lot of people talk about the difference between cost and price, right? So price is the cash tendered. You're going to give Rich 50 bones. Rich is going to give you a box of stuff with Rich's face on it. All right, that's cool. That's a transaction, right? Once I have the box, I open it up, I start going through the things. I'm like, damn, there's like $200 worth of stuff in this box. That is a fantastic value proposition. So when someone comes to me and says, you paid $50 for a box of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but they don't know what's in it. So their value proposition right now is $50 seems expensive. Well, no, it's not. And let me tell you why. Because the value that was in there is worth well over $250. And that's not even mentioned time saved. If we start getting into time saved, I think I can get perceived value up into about $1,600. So $50 is nothing, right? And so here's the funny thing about it. And yes, Rob, he got it squared away. And this must be hard because Rob works in the medical field. And yeah, this is where it gets the most crazy. Like, people really don't get it, right? There's a concept of, this surgery is going to cost you $50,000, but it could extend your life by 25 years. Is $50,000 expensive now? Nah. If it's just $50,000 for $50,000, that's expensive. The word $50,000 is expensive, but not if you're going to get an extra 20, 25 years of life out of it. No. So for me, this is funny. I had this conversation yesterday with the missus. I was like, hey, check this out. Because she was kicking and screaming. When I brought it in the house, you got to know the box it comes in is like the size. It's bigger than this 34-inch monitor. And, Hawaii apartments are small. We got 1,000 square feet. You know what I mean? So our kitchen counter is about as big as this desk. She was freaked out. What are you going to another big appliance? What are you going to do? The thing? We could just make pour-overs. We make pour-overs. It's a thing, right? If she ever hears that, I am dead. So if I don't come back next week, you guys know what happens. Anyway, so the point is, when I took it out of the box, oh, that looks fancy. That looks complicated. Blah, blah, blah. It was all of this just yak, 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 yak. It was just going because it seemed like that's just pure craziness, right? And then you know, I shouldn't say this. It's as sexist as hell, so I don't care. At me, bro. But, you know, people that have the right amount of chromosomes go, well, let me just see how much this thing is. Holy God, it's almost $3,000. Oh my God, I can't believe that. Like, okay, so it just kept going. Then I got it together. Everything squared away. I pressed the button, and it literally goes, coffee comes out. Like literally 20 seconds later, full cup, done. And then that was too quick. This can't be any. Oh my God, this is like the best. Oh my God, this is the best coffee I ever had. Versus a average 10 to 15 minute pour over practice 3 or 4 times a day. Press a button, stuff comes out. So I asked her yesterday, I go, okay, a month ago, if I said I was going to go out and buy a $3,000 coffee machine, what would you say? So I would have kicked your ass out. Like, period. I go, what do you think about it now? Why the hell didn't we buy this a long time ago? Let that resonate. Now, and you might think this has nothing to do with your live streaming, but it has absolutely everything to do with your live streaming. And I'm going to explain why. Because when we tell people, like, you should go and get, say, Final Cut versus using iMovie. Sorry, keys in the pocket was getting heavy. They say, oh, I don't want to spend $300, right? You know what I'm saying? $300, that's expensive, right? When we tell people that, you know, instead of dicking around with Canva regular, you should just invest the $15 a month or whatever the heck it is to get Canva Pro because it's way faster for generating your thumbnails. $10 a month, that's just dumb. I don't want to pay $10 a month. And like, I could go through this for days. Like, why should you save your coins and get an A60 something versus, you know, dicking around with a smaller camera that you're going to hate, or listening to somebody tell you to buy a 7-year-old GX X7 because it's $500 and the good camera is $800. Them $300 that you think you're saving cost you in the long run by a long shot because you got to do way more craziness. You got to add an extra 100 watts of light because that thing can't see in the dark. And I completely ignored you N50 people because I'm tired of hearing y'all, but you know where you fit. You know where you fit. And there's nothing wrong with it. If you have it, you have it. Cool. You learn, you get it together, you make your way up, you step up, right? However, people don't get it. Even for Creative Cloud, like, why you still use Final Cut? You could just use Premiere. You're a Creative Cloud subscriber because Final Cut's faster. It's not that it's better, it's faster. The value proposition for me, speed. I don't care about looking like Peter freaking McKinnon. You ain't ever, what's up, everybody? I don't even do coffee montages. It's a one-time in Vlogmas. But Premiere could be absolutely better. I don't care. Hardware-wise, speed-wise, Final Cut will always be faster because Apple got the secret. They make both parts. It just is what it is. So, like, for generating YouTube content, not one of y'all goes, I wonder if they edited in Final Cut or if they edited in Premiere. Nobody cares. So watching people fight about that on YouTube cracks me the F up because it is a waste of time. Even when they made the video, it was a waste of time. They spent probably 6 hours to make said video, and it's for no good reason because value proposition is what value proposition is. There are people who we're speaking to right now that will tell you, sorry, hiccup, that will tell you spending $300 on this was ignorant, but they over here sounding like Lin Well.
Hey everybody, I'd like to welcome y'all to the stream. Today we're going to be talking about Amazon Live.
Like, no, man. Like, this is a good investment because your video quality is going to sound better. People have to start to understand value proposition versus always wondering how much something costs. That's not the right answer, bro. Now, the price, actually. The cost is where your value proposition, like what you're going to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I first got my electric, that's just insane. You're going to spend like $50,000 on an electric car. I didn't go to the gas station for 4.5 years. Not a drip, not an ounce, not a single ounce of gas. You have no idea how much that saves until the end of the year. You look at your credit card statement and there's nothing on the gas bill. Did it cover the $12,000 gap in regular engine aspirated versus electric? Abso-freaking-lutely covered it within the second year. But everyone goes, I can't believe you about to let your card. It's so expensive. But shut up. Okay. No. It wasn't necessarily directed at Lim. It's directed at anyone who doesn't understand why certain things, especially if our streamer cats, we're talking to business streamers. We are talking to people that are trying to get into their creative thing and turn their creative thing for fun and profit, not fun or profit. Fun or profit, maybe talk to somebody else. I ain't your dude. I'm trying to tell you how to get paid. Okay? So if you came here, if you're here for that, if you're here for the money, then you're in the right spot. If you're here to be like, I can't afford this, I can't do this, this is hard, you're in the wrong place. I will do my best to get you out of that if you're willing to stay. I will work really hard to get you out of that mentality if you're willing to stay. But if you just want to come and complain that something is expensive or something is hard, I'm sorry, I'm not the dude. I'm just ain't. Because I'm trying to get the people that really want to go, no excuses. That's the folks I want to get at. That's the people that are our Let's Get Live family. Every one of y'all. I look at somebody like Michelle. She came in. She's like, I don't know about these folks. These folks are just sassy. Now she all up in here like, rah, I run this joint. Here comes the queen. You know what I mean? And I love that. I love that moxie, that gumption. I love the fact that Keely comes in like, I got a niece, and my niece is hard, but I am going to figure this out. Zero complaints from Keely about how hard her journey is going to be. It's just, how do I do it? What should I know next? That's why I ride with Keely, right? What do I know next? Rob's like, hey, I can't go to Disney, but watch me drop Disney blogs while I ain't nowhere near the park. Let that marinate. Complainers, excuse makers, y'all will still be making those same excuses 1 year from now. 365 days from today, you will still be on somebody's live stream complaining about why it's hard. But those folks I just named, and some more of y'all, Mr. James Riley out there, Chris Gloss, he done already proved himself. Chris Gloss come out here, he dunk on you, walk backwards and be like, to the crowd. I'm just saying, dude, like probably 5'6", but he with the dunk when it comes to Chris. I'm sorry, Chris, I don't know how tall you are. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kim, y'all see her first week. I am shy. I don't know if I can do this. Now Kim be out here, ladies of live stream, running the show, toe-to-toe with India Coño Delgado. Man, why I keep pressing the wrong buttons? I forgot. I can't say nothing. Anyway, yeah, like I appreciate those who have came here and put in the work and have, like stepped their game up. Or you just like Wayne. Wayne come in, all right, gang, I'm ready to learn this mess. Let's do this. Let's do this. You know what I'm saying? That's just a thing. That's Rich, right on, bro. That is the thing. And you know what was really crazy is a lot of people that get lap band after are not cited. So yeah, but you know what? If you told somebody, hey, I'm gonna do this diet thing, it's gonna be like $9,000, they'll be like, you're crazy. But look at you. You move around, you quick, you sprightly, you feel like you got your life back. That's probably worth every stitch of that. Like after I got my knee done, Keely would tell you the first month, I'm like, what the hell did I do? Now I can walk up the steps nicely. I don't feel it anymore, but again, bruh, I thought I had absolutely screwed my life. Sherwin is on point. I'm sorry, iMovie people, it's a crutch because you don't want to learn something, but you have to. And we were going to talk about that too. We thought we would talk about that. Here's another one. That's another one. When we told people in the beginning, Michelle, lady girl, that you needed to buy a cow digit, they were like, $250. I could get this Sherwin version for $28. Okay, knock yourself out, player. How come eCam keeps crashing? My cam link disconnects. $28. That's just my patented answer now. Especially if they were already told that is not going to work, but they just didn't want to hear it. And they, you know what I mean? And I get it. If you can't do it, you can't let's come up with a different plan. Let's connect you by a USB for a hot minute until we get you squared away. You know what I mean? But Keely, I have never maxed out, and you know why, mommy? Because people forever make BX excuses not to do the S that they really need to do. They will always do that. Kevin Cox in the building. What's up, player? Good to see you here, man. I appreciate this dude. He's cool. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. We're going to talk about some of them today. So anyway, without going any further into trying to get people, I just want people to be in the right headspace, man. And, that wasn't directed at Rich's comment, but it was a good segue into what's going on. Hey, Kid Pan Alley. I like that. Kid Pan Alley. Hey, welcome to the party. That was the first time I heard the ticking. It made a weird noise. Anyway, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Yes, I appreciate the new members. So let's make sure Kid Pan Alley gets sent. Make a note to my brain. Send a link so they can come to class today. All right, cool. Yeah, it's funny, man. People really don't get it, bro. There's a huge difference. And the funny part is the same people that say that are the ones that mad because they bought a Mac anyway because it's more expensive. And then they immediately cripple it by buying a $5 hub. I'm like, bruh, that's not right. That's not right. Right? Yeah, so we got to go out there and we got to do our thing. We got to hustle. And you know what's cool about this is I can see it right now. In little or no time, some of y'all will be doing the same things, teaching folks how to get out of their head. And I mean, I come from it. I come from it. I come from a family of people that believed all of that mess. And I was lucky enough to escape. And I can't say that I blame moms, at that time and space. They thought there was no upside. They thought there was no way out of the Jex. They thought Jex was the way of life. I wasn't there to hear that. I'm like, yo, I'm getting out of here. So, hey, is what it is. Okay, let's do some, you know what, Alex, that might be true, but no, not. I'm going to tell you why not. I'm going to tell you why not. First of all, there's zero such thing as overpriced if someone is willing to buy it, right? Now, it might be overpriced for you because that's a value proposition. That's what I was getting at. People like to connect value propositions to like other people's wallets, right? So here's why I don't like the $15 things. They work. They absolutely connect, and they connect camera. And if you're cool with that, run. Buy 12 of them. But I have been through 7 of them. My brother and John LeBlanc, my neighbors, they both got 2. So add that. That's 9 of them. They all have a magenta or green cast. And if you're cool with that in your shot, knock yourself out. I ain't about that life. I need it to look right. When I go to color correct my video and I have to spend 15 minutes color correcting my video because the thing was shot with the jacked up color cast, then the $20 capture card wasn't worth it to me because I actually color correct my video. Now, a lot of people record their video, boom, it's gone. A lot of people do live, it's gone. I color correct my stuff. So from my position, I ain't about that life. This is not happening, never going to do it. The other thing is there's a quality difference, and I understand if you're streaming in 720p or 1080, nobody can see that. But I record in 4K for the purpose of repurposing. All of those $20 capture cards only do 1080. So if I make a mistake and I need to crop in, you don't have a lot of space to crop in on 1080. So the value for me is instantly gone. It's like if I bring to you like the world's greatest filet mignon, like ham massage, like $600 steak, and I oversalt it, I ruined it for you, right? For me, them color casting, it just doesn't work. Now, if you don't care, knock yourself out. Like no one's telling you you have to buy all these things, but we always tell people to be careful. And I tell you what the caveat is. And then I tell you, if you want to buy a $20 one, get in where you fit in, knock yourself out. But it's funny Again, what you just said about this is exactly what everybody says about this, including me. I said that about this until I got it. And then once I got it, I'm like, okay, open mouth, insert foot, remove Adidas. Turns out the SM7B has a little bit more sauce that maybe for most people they won't recognize, but I recognize it. So my value proposition has changed. The pod mic is the second best mic in the industry for doing this. This is the first. A month ago, I still would have been standing here beating my chest like King Kong, swearing up and down it's not worth the extra couple of $100. Now, the price difference between this and the pod mic, 3 cam links. So what it is, just, you know what I'm saying? You got to be careful about that. And so I would tell people, you want to get it the cheap way, knock yourself out, but you got to know. And I really don't believe anything is overpriced. Fake plastic with little LVs on it, that is, people think it's some kind of Corinthian leather. It's not even leather. It's canvas impregnated with wax. But if those LVs do something for your cockles, knock yourself out. Your boy don't own a single LV, nothing. Not a drip. Mr. Camera Junkie, Louis LV, I'll buy his stuff before I buy that mess. You know what I'm saying? Now, but do I have 4 pairs of Ferragamos? All day. You know what I mean? Like, would I spend a lot of money on the Tag Heuer? Nope. Would I spend a lot of money on the Rolex? Yep. Why? Because they go up instead of down, so I'll accept that. Do I wear jewelry? Not a drip. None of that stuff doesn't work for me. You know what I mean? And I will probably never buy another non-BMW again. And everybody else will be like, no, but this is better, this is better, this is better. I ride hard with them. They do me straight. It's a thing. Like, people really got to figure that mess out. Yeah, that's the deal. It's the edit, man. It's all in the edit. If you edit, you're going to love having that extra juice with the 4K. It absolutely is. Hey, Keely, don't do that yet. I'm going to send you a DM after, or DM India and ask her for the secret sauce. Because, yeah, it works. It takes a couple of days, but it works. Kim, you got it right. There's the other thing. Like, it's a crapshoot. And a lot of people have great success with those. I mean, straight up. But I'm not about that life. I'm not doing purple. Okay, so, Keely, did you plug in your MV7 to the RCP? That's the question. If you plugged your MV7 to the RCP, that is the question. And if you did, I want to help make sure you got it set straight. If you're camera ready, you can dial in. I know, you got to do your curls and get your red whistle shirt on. Yeah, you see, Mr. Raleigh, thank you. Every single one of us up here, Apple heads, talking about like something, is expensive or not expensive. And I just don't like that word. I really don't like that word, because it makes other people shy away from something that they probably can't get and afford. But once somebody has labeled it to you that it's expensive, then you start second guessing, which could be a perfect fit for you because somebody else labeled it. That's why I don't like the word. Does it fit your value proposition? Why, absolutely. Do I own a pair of Yeezys? Not a single one. Am I a diehard Adidas fan? Absolutely. I got Adidas everything. Not a single pair of Yeezys. Why? It didn't make sense. 2 pair of Yeezys is a Sony ZV-1. I can't make a dime off of them Yeezys. I'm not breakdancing no more. But I can make money off the ZV-1. You know what I'm saying? Hey, there you go. You said it yesterday, Rob. So you're not buying stuff from B&H. You're investing in things from B&H for your business. Keely did not answer me, which means she's not. Oh, she ready. Oh, my bad. Well, let me do this. My bad. Let's get it. I'm going to have Keely on my show. I feel like I'm special. I'm the king. Keely's coming on my show. Make room for Keely. Okay, Miss I. You know, one other thing, gang. I'm going through my list and I'm curating all the services that I, bought and whatever, and seeing, things that are still worth it, not worth it. I tell you one that I tripped on for a hot minute. Keely's on my show. Hi, Keely. Hi, Keely. I'm the king. Hey, Keely's coming on my Close the tab, woman.
I know. I'm like, oh my God, wait, not ready.
Oh, my bad. I should have asked. Is the tab open?
I'm just dialing and boom, I'm on.
Because either that or you got to turn on mix minus, which I can help you with.
Oh.
Well, let me just
Sorry,
check mine.
I was about to profane your show.
You can profane. I'm Doc. I don't give it.
Let me take a moment and gather. What do I need to do?
Okay, so press the house. Oh, you know what?
Press that. Oh,
you know what? Let's do this.
press the house. Got it.
We know, Miss Eileen. We're straightening it out. Okay, press the wrench and screwdriver advance.
Yep.
Got it? Press audio.
Yep.
Press audio.
Audio. Got it. Yep.
Processing. Mm-hmm. And the first thing, green or no?
It's green now.
Okay. And it's gone. See?
Take it.
Yeah, perfect. There you go. Now, this one.
Sorry, friends. Sorry.
No, don't sweat it. I appreciate this. You know why? Because it's at least a teaching moment, right? That of all the things your machine can do, everyone who owns an RCP, Rob, I know he got one. Everybody who's in the list who has one. Junior's, he's about to get down. There you go. Actually, Junior, you have one or you try to step into one? Either way, the key element here, that little process we just went through, get it muscle memoried. Like, go in and out of that menu 10 times until it is buried into your system. Hey, my mentor is here. What's up, Steph? ¿Cómo estás, Ading? ¿Cómo estás? Okay.
I love Steph. She's awesome.
Right? She's awesome. And she can kick your ass.
Oh, maybe not mine, but everybody else's.
No, it's funny because she's so little and tiny, and then I have to just imagine her as a Muay Thai fighter, like going around kicking people. But then I have one of them in my house. Like, she's 4'11", black belt. She'll kill you, but she looks like, oh, she's so cute. And then she kicks. I'm like, ow, don't practice on me. It hurts. Anyway, so that particular set of steps, and again, like, some people write it down. I just kept going in and out until I have it just memorized, right? So you press the gear first, and then advance second, audio third, processing fourth, check that USB, mix minus is on. That is probably the number one you'll have to remember. Everything else would just be, I can figure it out. That one is quick in, quick out. Okay.
Would you mind if you took a second just to explain to, everybody else at home and not to me? Because clearly I know why I had to do it in this moment.
Okay.
Okay,
so,
I have no freaking idea why I had to do that.
Okay,
please.
so I'm going to probably screw up the statement, and if Alex is around, he probably explains it better, but I'll explain to you sort of what it is. In a mix minus environment, I am allowing you to hear the mix of the show minus your own voice. Okay? So, in this particular case, you didn't have your mix minus on, right? So, I am hearing the mix of the show plus my own voice, because on your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I was getting ready to do, what's her name? Estevez? 5, 6, 7, 8. I have musical Tourette's. I'm so sorry.
It's my favorite quality about you. I love
Oh my
your
God.
musical Tourette's.
And it
It's
gets
awesome.
me hard. Like, I hear anything that reminds me of a song and it's like, squirrel. It's so crazy. Like, I think it's a clinical thing. I'm going to have to get it checked out. But it's not a bad one to have. So anyway, on your fifth one, the one with the little USB symbol,
Yep.
that's your computer. So
Right.
your current setup is either Ecamm audio is set as the output, or the Rodecaster Pro is set as the output on your computer, right? When you
Yep.
came in, which makes sense. So that means any noise your computer makes is coming through channel 5, right? So with channel 5 being up, aka the USB channel, when I say, hey, Keely, it's supposed to say, hey, Keely. Because if we weren't in this screen, you would hear, you know what I'm saying? Or like if you're playing a YouTube video or if you're watching a football game or something, you're supposed to hear that noise come out of the computer into your ears. That's the mix, right? But when I am also listening to same mix, I need to minus me out. So I can make noise here and both of us will hear it, but I'm erasing myself from it. So I don't go, hey, Doc, Keely. What? That's, you know what I mean? So you're letting the guest hear the entire mix of whatever is coming out of the speakers, but minus themselves.
Okay. So for future reference, I'm going to need this when I am calling into other people's shows.
Yeah. And for the most part, because this is how we live, I don't ever turn it off. It's just not off. Right. Now, here's where people get stuck. With mix minus on, if I said to you, oh, play something from your Chrome, I might not be able to hear it right now. Because it's been that the computer audio channel, any noise your computer would make is on that slider. So I wouldn't be able to hear it because you turned it off. So this is why everyone freaks out and immediately goes to, well, I can't hear it. I need loop back. Not really. There's other ways to play the audio, right? For me, I told people stop trying to play crap live from the internet. Move it into the program. Download the video file, put it in Ecamm, and play it, and it's fine, right? So
Dang,
if I came on,
I learned that last week for sure. Not last week, but the week before. I tried to play a hockey video in Chrome for my audience on the live stream, and it was just a debacle. It just totally blew up in my face. And I'm like, okay, never again. I am going to download those videos every freaking time. So, yeah.
ooh,
One step too far, friends.
So here's the thing. And I know better now. At the time, I didn't know any better. So I was a little like, what, really? But it was still dope. So last year we did Leap in the Livestream conference. That's where I first met Stephanie. That's what made me pay for Ecamm, everything. I got the discount from her. I was like, yeah, man. So I couldn't wait for this conference to start. And it was like, you know, she's going to do this keynote speech. And then there's going to be all these great speakers and so forth, so on, and et cetera. Like, it was the business. How come? Are you there?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fixing my hair. What's the problem?
your
I'm frozen?
image froze. That's so weird. Let me do this real quick. Let me try. Go like that. Go like that. Go back. Yeah, it's so weird. We have
Is
you
this
as
a good
frozen.
time to switch my virtual camera or not?
Yeah, try. I don't care.
Okay.
You can always call back. Anyway, so
Here we go.
yeah, now I can see you. So what was crazy is that I just couldn't wait. So I get up, you know, that first one for me is like 3 a.m., cup of coffee, boom, sit down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make sure I do not miss Stephanie's keynote because I saw her on a bunch of shows like on the build up. I'm like, man, this lady knows everything that I need to know because I got the equipment part down, but I need the mechanics of how to flow. All right, so I'm sitting, I got my coffee and I opened up the thing and I was like, yeah, wait a minute, this is recorded video. And, you know, monkey mind would be like, oh, I thought it was going to be a live stream. I was like, I don't care. It's Stephanie, she got some good stuff to say. So I'm going to listen anyway. So she goes into this dope presentation about a circus and how doing your setup is like a 3-ring circus and you got to have all of the parts together and it's a well-oiled machine and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bam, that was straight legit. So I like immediately checking out all the other stuff I want to watch. But then I'm like, wait a minute. Since it's recorded, I can take my butt back to sleep and then wake up at my prescribed time in 3 more hours and then just absorb it all when my brain is fresh. So what did I do? I crawled back into bed and I was like, 15 minutes. Nope. Okay, let's do this. Back up. And so I went back and I started going again. And it was the best ever. Because you know what didn't happen? Nobody dropped. Nobody got stuck, no stutter step frames, no weirdness. So it was a live streaming conference with a bunch of recorded videos. And monkey-minded mother was like, I wanted to be live. But people who was there for the value, people who was ready to learn, was like, yo, this is even better because there's no skips. Oh, by the way, I could watch Kelly, you know already, because you had Vlogmas. You came after, but you seen her. Kelly is 715.8 miles per hour, and she should have converted to kilometers per hour because, yo, I had to watch Kelly's thing like 5 times. I'm smart. Okay, according to me and my mama, I'm smart. But yo, Kelly's like, mini shot. I'm like, what? But I could just watch Kelly over and over and over again. And then I went, got it. Okay, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So people in our industry, we start doing this stuff and we're like, well, it's live streaming, so let me play this live. No. Download that and put it on your thing and press play. It is a better in running. So that long ass story is some things you need to put already. And I think everyone who comes in the community and complains about what Ikem is doing wrong are the people that did not prep. And you got 2 choices. Either prep or be like me, really good at rolling with the flow and not carry. I will fix my scene in front of all of y'all. Draws out. I mean, let me move this. I'll pick this on. I'll turn this on, and then I'll, move it around. I don't care. I'm not. Nobody can be like, oh, he sucks. I'm not that. And if you don't like it, step. Cool. I don't care.
Absolutely.
I will do mine on the fly. Everybody's like, it has to be perfect. Dude, TV ain't freaking perfect.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Absolutely.
Look at the Super Bowl. Tom Brady against the Falcons. He wasn't perfect for like 3 quarters. We were like, oh, he's done. He's all washed up. Holy crap, he's coming back. There's no way they could come back 28 points.
Yeah. And that fits really well into like my particular field when I'm live streaming is that, we're umpires and it is part of our job to make mistakes. We're always out there failing. And a big lesson that I'm always trying to reinforce with everybody is that you've got to love the failure because the failure is what you're going to learn from and you got to be open about it and you got to accept it and all that sort of thing. So I am always effing up on my shows. Blackman was on the other day right at the moment when I couldn't get my iPhone to NDI into the stream. And I'm like, I'm swearing in my head, and there's Blackman just laughing, right? And all he had to do was say a couple words like, oh, don't you love live? And I knew he was killing himself. And I'm, yep.
See,
standard,
It's
But
super funny.
This is what we do. And I'm leading by example by failing very publicly.
Yes, Alex, you can, by all means, sir. I think you got the link. It's never changed. I'm not to change it. And yeah, she got me. Gloria Esteban. I don't know what the heck I said. Doc Rock is like a human DMCA strike. But no, Stephanie is right. Stephanie set it up here, man. You got to keep your cool and keep on. Like, it's just real. I tell people, I promise I am special, and I'm special for a very particular reason. When I worked in the radio, my job was to stand in front of the stadium and tell the 10, 15, 20,000 angry fans why Casey and JoJo is late for their concert. So the promoter goes, go out there and stall. Stall? How long? 10 minutes? 5 minutes? It's going to be like an hour and a half. What? And he's like, okay, that's what you're getting paid for. Bye. And then promoter, run. I got to go out there and not have people mob, the thing. So go out there and try to find a way to keep people gamefully entertained, play music, play games. I just started doing dumb stuff like giving away trips to Vegas. And then like, who's going to pay for that? You.
You were Mr. Beast before Mr. Beast was Mr. Beast. I like that.
I guess. And it's just one of those things that you have to sort of be prepared for should something come up. And I mean like trying to control the everything. Alex, you too?
Hey, Doc.
You're a mixed minus. There we go.
Ooh, now I know what it sounds like.
Now I know what it sounds like. It's still there. Nope. It's still there. I see Alex is the guy who teaches all of this stuff, and he still did it.
So now I feel better because I know it wasn't just,
That's super funny. All right. Is it still going? Yep, still going. Yep, still going.
Yep.
Is it still there?
Just say different words.
Yeah.
Say different words.
And
then I know you're not echoing.
It's still doing it. It's still doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, mix minus is on.
Okay, what about your loop? Okay, what about your loop brain stuff?
Let me try that.
Brain
How's
stuff.
that?
Your loop deck stuff. Your loop deck stuff.
Nope. Loopback shouldn't be affecting this.
That's what I meant to say, loop. That's what I meant to say, loop back. Yeah, it's still there. Yeah, it's still there. Do you have a browser tab? You have a browser tab. It's coming from the mixer. It's coming from the mixer. So guys, this is how you troubleshoot these things. Troubleshoot these things. That's funny. That's JFK. I'm JFK. I'm just reading comments. Make sure everybody's good. Keely, put the glasses on. Actually, I like the.
I know,
actually,
right?
I like the.
I know, right?
I like the school teacher look anyway. It's like if you say something stupid, I will. That's what my teachers used to say to me.
Take them off.
It's
to get
weird.
really angry,
It's
get
weird.
really angry.
Now that one did a perpetual echo instead of just a slapback. Okay, so teacher moment, gang. What you're hearing right now is not echo. Because it just once. It's a slapback. Echo is when it goes echo, like that. Still doing it. Yes. Good. Elaine, that is pure fire. There we go. Alex, I think you got it.
I know what it was.
What it was.
It was Loopback. It was Google Chrome in a Loopback virtual device, feeding straight back in.
There you go. See? So again, like now this I'm glad this happens. Here's why. Because I can tell you our community is so dope. All right. Our community is absolutely fantastic and extremely loving, and everyone helps everyone out. I love that. But some people are telling people to get loop back that don't need loop back. And then they are creating issues for themselves because they don't know how to suss it out. Like what Alex did was smart. He just stopped back, woo-saw, follow the chain, because you have to understand how audio flows before you even think about loop back, because that's the point of loop back. You're painting a visual picture of audio flow and you're manipulating that picture, right? You're straightening the crooked Picasso face, right? So he's able to go, okay, my mic, it flows. It doesn't slap back. Doc and Keely flip back. That means it's coming from a noise my computer would make without me, right? And so then he starts tracing, what do I have open in my computer that can make noise? Chrome browser is one. Zoom would be another one. Ecamm would be another one. Logic, GarageBand, anything that you normally press a button and stuff comes out, right? So you start tracing into your mixer which one of those guys is making a noise. So we tell people, oh, why don't you just mute the tab? They go, well, I don't know how to mute the tab. The tab has a freaking speaker icon. They go, I didn't know that's what that was for. Why would a tab have a speaker icon? I mean, they built it that way out of hoping that people's common sense would kick in. But here's what happens. It says computer in the front. So common sense go out the window when it says computer in the front. A 4-year-old, after being around a bunch of adults, could see a device with the speaker icon and it's loud and they will go automatically. A 4-year-old knows that a triangle pointing to the right means play. They know that 2 greater than symbols pointing to the left means back up. They learn that mess on PBS Kids app or Sesame Street or Elmo's Talk to Me Elmo, that little tickling thing. Like they know all of that iconography from tiny. And you say, well, that's not true. Yes, it is. When I bought my niece an iPad, I was 2 years old. Family freaked out. Why the heck would you buy her an iPad? It's so expensive. Here we go with that shit again. And I'm like, no, it's not. She'll be fine. But she doesn't know how to use it. You don't know how to use it. She doesn't know that she doesn't know how to use it. To her, it's screen. There's Elmo, press things. Elmo does stuff. And she loves Elmo. So that's all the rest of y'all shut the up and see what happens. 3 days into her owning an iPad at 2 years old, Grandpa and I are watching a Red Sox game, okay? She's Grandpa's baby. Absolutely loves Grandpa, right? Her second favorite person in the world, Uncle. So Grandpa and Uncle are watching baseball, okay? ESPN The thing comes up like this, just like this on your screen, right? Press the button, damn it. All right. So, comes up, it's the score. And she's like, no, no, no. She walks over to the TV. She grabs the area that the ticker is in, and she goes like that. And then ESPN, just like that. And she goes, no, Gia baseball. Because Gia is like, Oji-chan or Oji-san in Japanese, his grandfather. She's like, no, Gia baseball. She sits back down, kept playing with her stuff. Because to her, TV is analogous of an iPad. That thing was in our way, so she moved it. You couldn't tell a 2-year-old any different that she did not control that broadcast. So this is why I don't understand how humans, we all in our 50s, 60s, whatever, we can't understand that little speaker with the thing blinking while the tab is playing means the tab is making noise. I mean, that mess been around since the 60s. What's wrong with y'all?
It's hidden? I don't know.
No, it's not hidden.
It's not very noticeable up there. I ignore everything up at the top because that's not where the action is.
That means
hear
that
what you're
you like
saying, though.
Miss Diana and you got 80 tabs open. She's not coming today, so she
maybe.
knows.
Hey, Alex.
Hey,
Hi.
good to see y'all. How you doing, Doc?
Good, man. You know why, Stephanie? Because she's an Emma. That's why. So
Came rolling in with a loop back, which is brilliant. Yeah, no. So ignoring the fact that I was using the loopback app, USB mix minus, and I'll try to keep it simple.
Okay, because I made it complicated.
The Roadcaster.
He did.
Yeah, the Roadcaster connects via USB, and USB
Correct.
is a bidirectional channel. So whatever comes in on the USB channel also goes out on the USB channel. If you turn on mix minus, it prevents that return audio. So things can come in on USB and you can hear them if you've got your headphones plugged into the Rodecaster Pro, but they will no longer go out. The reason that matters is
That's way smarter
way-
than what I said.
Yeah, I'm
So the
totally
reason-
understanding this.
Shut up, Keely.
Are you or
No,
am
I am.
I still?
I am.
Because
No, that made way more sense than what
Yeah.
I said. I mean, I think I
Especially
thought
if-
I was saying it right, but the way you say it is more English oriented. Mine was Docisms.
A lot simpler. So if
So-
I had the Rodecaster Pro, like it could do
Hey, Keely,
this.
we're
that I was
friends, okay?
using-
Keep it,
Sorry, that I was using a 1/4 inch jack. So that's analog, right? So if that was what was pushing the sound to my computer, that's not bidirectional. That's only unidirectional, and I'd never have to worry about mix minus.
That would be correct, I think,
Yes.
unless it's
Nailed it.
TRRS, in which case that is bidirectional.
Oh,
TRS,
okay.
I think, is is TRS? Can TRS also be bidirectional?
not really. It's left and right stereo out.
It's stereo.
So the other one is the return. That's the mic channel.
Yeah. So I wouldn't do that. I would keep the RCP hooked up over USB. But just remember when you have guests on, and because of the way interview mode works, so your guests on interview mode, their audio is fed directly into the stream. Okay.
Right.
But it also goes over USB so that you hear it in your ears. With a Rodecaster Pro, it's then getting fed back via USB and going into the stream. So there are now 2 channels of their audio going into the stream. The interview mode going direct and the USB return going in. So the mix minus gets rid of that USB return feed.
Okay.
Now,
so
if you use
if I have
Skype-
a guest coming in who has a Rodecaster Pro or another fancy schmancy mixer board, that's when I have to worry and make sure they
No,
have the mix minus turned on.
No, any guess.
Any guess?
Any guest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I now have a Rodecaster Pro.
Because the USB audio return is on your end, right? Like I said, their audio's coming in. It's coming in, going directly to the stream. It's also going to the Rodecaster Pro so that you can hear it. Well, once it hits the Rodecaster Pro, it will get returned back into the stream as a second channel, and it's just keep mix minus turned on.
Okay.
If
Prima,
you keep
this
mix
is a
minus
good
turned on,
question.
you'll be all right.
Oh, two things. So yes, Sherwin, your answer, your loopback exists because Soundflower was non-visual, and kind of complicated. So over 20 some odd years ago, Rogue Amoeba generated loopback, just for the simple reason that Soundflower was a pain in the butt. Black Hole is now Soundflower, and it's still a pain in the butt.
It is still a pain in the butt.
Prima. First of all, good to see you here. Espérate, mira. So if this is a good question, but let me fix this. You are straight up asking, why does someone like steak over aluminum?
Yeah, why does someone like apples over oranges?
No, they're fruit. They're both fruit.
Oh,
this
yeah,
one
that's
is
true.
like
They're
steak
both
and
fruit.
aluminum. They're
Yeah.
separate. Like, it's not as far as aluminum, but it would be steak versus some other food. Because although it's an audio video product, first of all, the A10 Mini is a video product that happens to have an audio input. Rodecaster Pro is purely audio, zero video whatsoever. So that already disconnects them from the family, right? Now, an A10 Mini, for the most part, if you have a Mac with decent amount of substance, right? Or you have a show where you only going to bring in, say, 2 cameras, you don't need an A10 Mini. A10 Mini is absolutely fantastic when you have a machine that can't necessarily handle all 4 captures at the same time, and allow the switching, because that will do the switching for you. You're giving only one signal to Ecamm. Ecamm sees whichever button is highlighted red. Everything else is off, or is it green? I forget. I think they had it backwards. Anyway, the point is, which 1, 2, 3, 4, or the new one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whichever one you're pressing, that's what Ecamm sees. Like, so how we are all here, I could also, with the A10 Mini, have my camera 1, Keely camera 2, Alex camera 3, but it only sending one camera to Ecamm. So it takes the power of, needing that computer away. Actually, the A10 Mini will run completely fine with a computer not even existing, right? And that's also what the Rodecaster does. The Rodecaster allows me to have 6 individual people speaking, where I have absolute control over each individual's microphone, and I can adjust their levels and everything. Computer doesn't even have to be on. The Rodecaster Pro can run on a set of AA batteries, and I'm out in Starbucks in meat space recording a podcast. It gets complicated when people come into their setup not realizing what the devices do first. So one of the conversations I wanted to make sure we talked about today, so perfect segue. Again, the Ecamm community, we love each other. We're also helpful, but we're telling people who don't know how to tie shoes correctly to get a somewhat complicated device, which is fine if they're willing to read those gigantic 16 by 12 cards, if they're reading to make a playlist of Tom Buck and watch it soup to nuts, if they're willing to take Alex's thing that he wrote, made pictures the whole 9 yards, and follow it verbatim, fine, you can we should make them take the test first. After you pass the test, then you can buy it. Because what people do, including my old partner who Alex helped, buy it because they can, don't know how to use it. This thing's a piece of... No, it's not. It works perfectly fine. Slow down, pump your brakes, breathe, woo-saw, let's go down the steps. Oh, that was easy. Yeah, you just panic mode. You know what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, we got to be careful telling people to even go out and get this if we don't fully understand their use case. If you fully understand their use case, you've taken the time to suss them out. Daniel Chi in our moderator community is super good at that. Explain to me your use case, and then let me break it down for you. The other person who's really good at that is my little brother, the Kang DeLorean. He's also very, very good at okay, explain me your use case first. I'll tell you if you need it, because I get it. Like Limwell tell you, we all want to buy stuff, but you gotta polish the situation first. Let's figure it out in case you really need it. If you need it, we'll help you. If you don't need it, you're gonna complicate life.
Yeah, that's what I did with the RCP, because I mean you all are talking about it constantly, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I'm actually, because I'm quite a minimalist, I didn't want to get it. I don't want to buy new gear. So I tried everything to work around getting Clubhouse audio into my computer so I could repurpose it in ways that comply with their terms of service, of course. But that was really important to me because I'm spending a lot of time there hosting rooms and trying to build the field hockey community there. So I thought, oh, maybe I can do this with an iRig or with this or with that. And you know, I spent a ton of time with Joel Foner from the group. He's awesome and super patient with me. Taught me anything I know about audio because I don't know anything. And so he just went from zero to, you know, who knows what I have now. And now I finally gave in. I said, okay, I'm going to give the Rodecaster Pro a try. But I heard you, I heard Diana, I heard everybody saying, and India, you read those cards, you put those cards up, and I had them over on the side, and I was just like staring at them as I was playing with all the buttons, and I was just, and then I'd throw a card behind me, got it, and then I'd go to the next one, and I'm really big on reading the manuals, so I felt pretty good. And then I watched all the Rodecaster Pro videos, so they have that video tutorial series, and that really helped me out. And now I've realized I'm not sure how I lived without this at the end of the day. So thank
it'll
you
be
for
good.
coming to my
Okay,
TED Talk.
so the first thing that we want to do, I'm going to see if I could answer Sherwin's question, but in the meantime, I want you to try something. Can you grab the base of the mic stand and do a 180? What is the mic sitting on? Or is it on an arm?
No, it's on a boom.
Okay, can you grab the yoke and make it do a 180? Because you're talking in the wrong side.
Am I?
Yeah. It's this. It's the same as this. So you got to talk here.
Into the end of it. End address.
There you go.
There you go.
Now try. Say something. Keely-esque. Or automatically better.
What up, y'all?
Yeah. It's
better.
subtle. It's subtle, but it's better because this is a top. See, you know what? All you guys that come from Yetis that like talking into microphones like this, it's not that. It's the thing. And I know they visually look similar, but this is a top address. So it's intended.
No, I knew it was different, but I thought that I had it the correct orientation. I was intentionally putting it at that orientation, thinking
Yeah,
I
and
was
it's
addressing
subtle,
the mic
but I
properly.
can definitely hear a difference now. So
Cool.
no biggie. That's also why the controls are there, so you can do this. I'm kind of jealous of that, Alex. By the way, we don't get that cool little slider. I wish we had that.
Yeah, slider thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is dope. That thing is cool. So you see the little dots on yours, Keely? You can control stuff with that.
I'm
Not-
fine. 'cause
not
I
when
have
it's
these
on
cool
XLR,
little
though.
sliders on the Rodecaster. So
Yeah. You don't need it either, Keely, because you have the Rodecaster.
right.
Yeah.
JFK said, I asked about audio interface to camera on a recent stream. I think I got it figured out. To go from my interface headphone out to the camera mic splitter. I don't know why are you trying to mix it into the camera feed. I just keep them separate. I mean, but I always, even in my video production life, my audio was never coming from the camera. It's just not a thing. I use it as a track to connect the other so they bite, but I've always recorded separate, which is why I had the Zune H4n or Shure field recorders. So I don't know why you're trying to get it into the video signal. I think they should stay on the mixer and come in separate and whatever. So let me know if that makes sense. Go ahead.
Doug,
Alex.
let me show folks something maybe a little advanced setup for using the Rodecaster Pro with loopback. So here's what I do. I have two setups. I have one with mix minus enabled and one with mix minus disabled so that I can use them for different purposes. So let me jump to screen share here and hopefully.
How do you
What are
dip
y'all
out of them
seeing
really
here?
quickly, though? If you can cover that in your explanation, I'll put you back.
Okay. Let me, I don't know what you all are seeing here. I need to go to screen
You're full
share.
screen.
You're not seeing loopback, though. So which screen
Your
is
infinity screen.
it? Yeah.
It's like little Alex, little Alex, little Alex, little Alex, little Alex.
Doc, you gonna
Showing
help me
Chrome
tune this thing
instead
as
of,
well?
Yep,
Like
that's
the
what we're going to do.
advanced?
Yes.
Let me go to
Yeah,
my
that's what I'm
hang
talking
on,
about.
secondary display. Here we go. So let's look at loopback here. So if you're, say, a more advanced user of the Rodecaster Pro, go onto your Rodecaster Pro and turn off mix minus. Leave it off And that way, the device Rodecaster Pro Stereo will be the full stereo mix. What you can then do to make sure that if you have loopback, you can come to loopback and you can create a brand new device. I'll call it Rodecaster Pro Mix Minus. If I could spell. I'll call it RCP Mix Minus. I'm going to delete this pass-through because that's unnecessary. And now I'll add the Rodecaster Pro multi-channel. Obviously, it goes without saying, enable multi-channel over USB on your Rodecaster Pro. These first two channels, 1 and 2, are the full stereo mix. We do not want that. I'm going to delete it. Channel 3 is microphone number 1. I do want that because that's my microphone. Channels 4, 5, and 6 are microphones 2, 3, and 4. Channels 7 and 8 are USB. We want a mix minus, so I am not going to map those. Channels 9 and 10 are
Sound effects.
Channels 9 and 10 are the auxiliary input. Channels 11 and 12 are Bluetooth, so I'm going to map those. And 13 and 14 are the MIDI pads, the sound effects pads. That device right there, RCP Mix Minus, which should say Mix, that now becomes a virtual audio device you can use with Mix Minus turned on. And if you come on to Doc Rock's show, for example, and pick that as your device, you will not have a loopback. And that's what I should have done initially.
That's cool though. And that's cool because I think the key element too is what you call that, many applications do support RCP stereo versus RCP multi-channel, and I think just out of the box, press it right away, a lot of people just go straight to stereo. But the multi-channel can give you a lot more.
Well, yeah,
right?
But if you use the default multi-channel device, only channels 1 and 2 are mapped, which is the full stereo mix. So you're going to end up with the same problem. You have to have a conduit in between, like loopback, where you can map the individual channels, so that you're not using channels 1 and 2 or channels 7 and 8, because that will give you the audio return, which we're trying to avoid.
Nice.
So Alex, would that then give me the ability to use my sound effects through the through the show? Because right now I can't, right?
What sound effects?
No, you can.
Yeah, I heard you when you made the beep sound because I said a bad word. I mean, I didn't say a bad word. YouTube. When I thought I was going to say a bad word, I heard that.
Yeah,
Cool.
remember.
Oh, I thought that I was mixed out of that.
No, so let me. That's my mistake for not explaining it properly. Doc, let me go back to my screen again real quick, bud. So you don't need to worry about this, but these are all of the channels that your Rodecaster Pro puts out, channels 1 through 14. The USB channels
You moved
channels.
You moved the application out the way. Always see is you.
There
we go.
So channels 1 through 14 are all of the channels that your Rodecaster puts out. You don't need loopback for this. This is just explanatory. That's all. The USB channels are channels 7 and 8. And so when you turn on USB Mix Minus, all it does, let me put them in here so you can see them. If I turn on USB Mix Minus, it is the same as unmapping those two channels there, but the rest of the channels are still mapped. So channels 13 and 14 are your MIDI pads. So those are still going to work even when Mix Minus is enabled. Your Bluetooth will work, your auxiliary input is going to work, and all 4 of your mic channels are going to work. So to answer your question, you absolutely can use your sound effects with the USB Mix Minus enabled.
Okay, let's do something
Awesome.
real quick.
That
Go back to
really
that screen.
helped having the diagram. Thank you.
Here, watch this, Keely. Go back to that screen, Alex. Now, Keely, notice me. I am channel 7 and 8, or you as well, because you and I are on the same channel to him. We are currently channel 7 and 8, and that's the USB channel on the mixer. So if I go, like it's moving.
Right.
Yeah.
You see? So Alex's mic is the one you see bouncing because he's not talking. That's 3. And then 1 and 2 is left and right stereo out. on this
Yep.
particular
Full stereo
scenario.
mix.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
Oh
So
my
that's,
gosh, you guys.
You don't
That's the
need to
power of
worry
loopback
about
is
any
you
of
get a
that.
visual, right? You know, and that's why it's dope if you're going to take the time. But everyone just buys it. Don't try to even tutorial the first. Just start pressing stuff and then screaming, yelling in community that we're idiots because we told them to buy something that they didn't
Right.
bother to learn how to use. I'm like,
Right.
yo, you want me to buy you the car and drive you around and take you to Jack in the Box and open the paper and put the cheeseburger in your face and move your jaw up and down and then take you to the bathroom and unzip, sit you on the toilet, then clean your butt? I mean, no, son, you got to do some stuff by yourself. Sorry. There you go.
Gotcha.
But yeah, just it's for folks that want to go the next step. It's important to remember when you turn on the multi-channel output of the Rodecaster Pro, by default, it's going to map every single channel, and you're going to need something like loopback or audio hijack. You can map the channels in audio hijack, but you'll need something like that in order to minus out the USB audio return.
Prima, the answer to your question is Rodecaster Pro plus something. Me and Stream Deck is divorced now. You don't even want to see this yet. The Rodecaster Pro plus Stream Deck is greater than A10 Mini Pro for Ecamm Productions in the right scenario. For me personal, my value proposition, 100%. Although I got toys, player. I am stepped up. This is way better than Stream Deck.
how do you
Oh,
like
you got
that
one.
loopback
Oh,
thing?
I'm dying for this review.
Oh, you didn't
I
even
don't have
know.
a Stream Deck, so.
Look,
Yeah,
Alex, it gets worse, bro. Because when I get ready to do the edit, then this girl comes out.
Oh, the big one.
Yeah.
So you're going to be doing a review on these, and
Yeah.
I don't want any spoilers or anything, but I'm going to. I'll send you a message later, and I'll tell you what I think your verdict's going to be.
Okay. All right, cool. Because, yeah, I'm going to do a review on it. It's just, you know what it is for me?
No spoilers.
Right,
No
For right
spoilers.
now, the number one thing is when I press one of these screen things, it goes under my finger, and that sounds dumb, but that haptic feedback is good
Haptic feedback.
for not visually looking at it, touching buttons, right? So that part is dope. And I have been a DJ mix console person for a long time, so these fully rotational knobs right here got me feeling some type of way. I mean, all the way back from setting the defibrillator to make sure I can wake that soldier back up, like those knobs mean something to me. So I've been used to doing that for quite a long time. Clear. All right, he's back, Sergeant. Let's go. Hey, can you get back out there and fight? Like that quick. You good. Take some Robitussin. Let's get back out there. So
But yeah, I think the Rodecaster Pro and the Stream Deck are what I use.
Absolutely.
I love A10 Minis. I think they are fantastic for what they're designed for.
I don't
which
think they're
is
designed
an
for this.
Studio. They're not. If I were in a studio with 4 cameras and 4 guests, I would be all over an A10 Mini. But I'm not. I'm a guy at a desk with maybe a couple of cameras and a bunch of scenes, and the Stream Deck just makes a lot more sense for that.
Yep. The only thing the new not the new one, they all did it, the ISO forward. The one thing the new ones do that I do appreciate is I love the fact that if you have the hard drive connected, you can just record directly to that, so you have an additional backup. I love that side of it, but it doesn't calculate for this. And for me, not being able to do 4K in 2021 just does not compute, and everybody has their own opinions on that. I will let you have your opinions. You're wrong. You want to shoot in 4K because you can edit better. Like every one of us that had to see, again, audio thing, when you have somebody that only could record in like 8-bit and it sounds fine. Okay, let's start normalizing in EQ and let me try to pull some noise out of that. I can't. I don't have the information. But if I recorded in 32-bit float, I can literally go in there with a pencil and erase the sound of your phone ringing in the background, and nobody would know I edited it. But if you recorded it in the lowest resolution because you're saving memory chip, I can't. So that's why I'm just not about that life. I just been through too many mistakes of not enough quality to do a proper edit. Okay, so Eileen got her MV7, so we're going to help you out. So, Keely, we are going to tune your MV7 right now. I just want to answer Jay's question. So, the DAW situation, and I know you don't have a RCP, but all of what Alex just showed you applies even with a completely software-oriented mixer. You could generate a software-oriented mixer that will send just 2 channels out of your DAW to whatever your streaming situation is perfectly fine. That's why we all came from Soundflower. So before Ecamm was even existed, the boys were probably still in high school. Yo, I was sending 16 channel mixes to Ustream from Reason and Ableton. So that it doesn't even have to do with Rodecaster Pro, but you want to do it that way as opposed to doing the jank way, which is to take a headphone cable out, a mini stereo, and processing it that way. You can do it in software, a complete virtual mixer. There's tons of software out there to help you. So for even your DAW already has it built in. And in most DAWs, on a 16-channel mixer, 17 and 18 is master bus. Everything else is the build to that. So I would probably do it that way. Many people in our community use like my Allen and Heath Z12X. It's back there on the floor. It's a 12-channel, old school mixer. In the computer, channel 13 and 14 is the master bus. Everything else is all there. So you can do it that way. You can have your DAW playing directly into your mix stuff with no problems. I think I said that right.
You can. Even GarageBand will do it.
Yeah. It's funny.
GarageBand.
I was going to say, dude, your England slipped.
GarageBand.
No, I like Garage. I think it's funny, but yeah, it's funny because Alex, you've been here long enough that you got the Georgia in there, but every once in a while the England will slip out of your Georgia. So it's awesome. It's the best part of you. He said that was yeah, it was Far Side. She keep passing me by. What's all the what? Prima. What's all the what? I don't know. Or anyway,
He was ogling your loop deck, so I may have linked it for him.
Okay, cool.
I'm helper. I like to help.
Hey, June, stay away from my office. The funny thing is, I know he'll be in the building today because he's going to see Mom. So no, stay away from. I'm gonna lock the door. Wait, he knows the code to the. This is useless. I can't hide stuff.
You'll be coming in, and your Stream Deck will be gone. Your mic will be gone.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. You can actually generate an aggregate device right in Adobe, right in Apple's MIDI.
In the MIDI control.
In the audio MIDI interface, you can generate all of this stuff. It's just harder. Loop Deck, honestly, is just a pretty interface to a bunch of things you can do with Core Audio, kind of, sort of, natively, but
in fact, every device that you create in Loopback actually shows up in those audio
in that
MIDI
panel.
settings on the Mac.
So you could cheat. You can go to somebody's house that has Loop Deck, and you can have them set it up, and then you screenshot and then go do it yourself by hand. Mm-hmm. But I don't have time for that.
Right.
I mean, like, it's the easiest $70 I ever spent.
Yeah, now you all got the Ecamm discount. I bought, mind you, having said that, when I bought Loopback, it was cheaper. It wasn't $100 in the time, because I've had it for years. I've been using this thing for a long time. And
actually, I had it before Ecamm too.
Really, really useful. Even if you don't, ignore the fact that we have Rodecaster Pros or another interface of some kind. It is just remarkably easy to create these aggregate devices, be able to set them as an input for one piece of software, an output for another, and it just works. So I was using it long before I had the Rodecaster Pro, and was, hooking my phone up to the Rodecaster Pro and getting phone calls that way. I was bringing in phone calls in Google Hangouts in Chrome. Good answer. And I had guests in Skype. And so I had to get phone calls from Chrome to go into Skype, and for the audio from the guests in Skype to go back into Chrome. And the only way I was able to do it was to use Loopback devices to make that communication work.
And the bomb too is same with Audio Hijack. Like, for years, I mean, at least 10 years, was using Audio Hijack to basically capture the podcast that we do for a British Tech Network, and sort of be able to do all of the extra things with it and get independent audio, like discrete channels, all of that. It was all coming from doing it that way. Keely, this is going to be super crooked because I don't have space. So, but hopefully I'll make this work. Hold on. Oh, I know what I can do.
I'm here for this. I'm
just
here for
doing it-
crooked.
I'm doing it the Limwell way. Okay, so you have to turn that on, and
Can anybody do anything the Lemuel way?
yeah, got to grab this cable. See, and then I got to plug it in. You got to turn USB streaming on first before you plug it in. And what's weird, I know it's my hub, but when I plug it in, it doesn't bite. I have to actually then take the cable out and plug the cable back in. It's really weird. Drives me batty. So Cal Digit, you making us look bad, but okay. So now that's in.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this something that the ZV1 can do?
Yeah, Lim doesn't know.
Does
that.
Lemuel know this?
Okay, USB streaming is red, and let's see, did it show up on my screen? Sometimes, yep, I gotta do it. I gotta unplug it.
I love that joke like no other. Does
Right?
Lemuel
Isn't
know
it
about this?
hilarious?
It's awesome. How long do you think he's going to be able to withstand it?
He not.
He not?
Hey, Marshall, stay out of this.
Listen, Marshall, you're absolutely right.
Alex, don't pile on. Damn it, I thought we was cool.
I've been saying it for a long time. As much as I love the pod mic, as much as I really do like the pod mic, I think it's great, except for it's what I consider to be a very aggressive low pass filter. It cuts off
That's
the
true.
low end.
That is 100%
And for you, and for you personally, that is not a good thing.
No, not at all.
Because you have that deep, rich radio voice, and the SM7B is far
thank
better
you.
suited to you for that, dog.
Keely's
Right.
hilarious. Okay, start streaming. There we go.
I'm very
All right, cool.
cognizant of my voice. I want it to be good.
No, and you should. And I think not enough people understand that having your audio game like higher than you think it should be is actually the key to winning. And this is making me mad because
I have a lot of people I need to convince that I know what I'm talking about. I'm in a field where perhaps there's a group of people, men, who need to be convinced, and are also British, that I might actually be the number one expert in what I do in the world. So the more authoritative, the more professional, the more amazingness I can display, the
Can we
better.
ask what field it is?
Yeah,
Field
I
hockey
am
umpire?
I'm a field hockey umpire educator. So I'm a retired international umpire. I
kidding.
am now a teacher with the International Academy, and my business is offering education, resources, and mentorship for field hockey umpires worldwide. So
That is a
what I do.
remarkably violent game. I played a little field hockey in England when I was a kid. That is a tough game. It
It's
is.
not.
It
It's
really
not.
is.
It's easy to get hurt when you're new and you don't, and perhaps your skills have not been developed yet. You take a lot of balls to the shin. I don't know what's going on the screen, so I'm just.
that's
gonna keep
me. I
talking.
told you I will build my stuff on at live and not care. Anybody who want to argue with me,
I got
too
you.
bad.
I got your back. I'm going to distract them with stories about violence in field hockey.
You can. I don't even want to play with preview mode right now because it's just not worth breaking the stream. But here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, we got that, and we got that.
Anyway,
Go
I
ahead,
started getting hurt a lot less often when I got better at the game, and plus people got scared of me, so it was all good.
I like that people got scared of you. That's even
People
more
got
funny.
scared. It's not a violent game, but everyone's scared of me.
I like that. That's the
was
best. That's the best comment,
I
Keely.
didn't have to execute. It was implied. I'm just saying that
Right.
fear is not always, you just walk softly, carry a big stick. That's the whole
Yes.
thing, right?
Who said that? Buford T. Justice. We're gonna put the
I played a
queen right
lot of
here in the
rugby,
middle.
and it was less violent than field hockey. And those girls that play field hockey, they are vicious.
Yeah, because they getting tired of getting picked on. Oh, dude, we had to do
okay,
that in high
America.
school. We had to do field hockey one day, and the girls had to play football. And at the end, all of us football, it's called powder puff thing. All us football players was like, screw that, we'll stick to football. So I got my shin so wrecked. But it's because dudes, we were just hacking the ball. We didn't know what we were doing. So that thing, the stick is just swinging everywhere. And yeah, no, it was not a good look. Let me check the comments before we do Keely's homework real quick. Because
I don't know if
first
you
of
wanna do
all, I got to bring Marshall over here because Marshall is creating trouble, right? Oh, and wait, I didn't show you this yet, fam. I got this guy, the Loop Deck, and the Loop Deck CT. So we finna have some fun. Sherwin, I'm going to get to your question after we tune up Keely's mic. Yeah, I think actually you and JFK need to talk because Sherwin can help you show you how to line all of those things up so that they work the way you want. That will make a big, big difference. Hey, Sig, what's up, man? You back? Yes, good to see you. Welcome to the show. Sig, we had fun last week. Sig, and he like put up with me and Miss D arguing about him. So big ups to Sig, man. Thank you for coming back. Okay, Keely, so here's the maneuver. First steps first is you're going to want to select on your microphone. So whichever channel, I currently am on 3, pod mic is on 1, and my large diaphragm condenser is on 2. Okay, so I'm going to just go to 3.
Okay, all of my 1 mic is on 1.
Okay, cool. So when you do that, you're going to come to this screen first. So normally when you press that, you'll see this. If you don't see the screen the first time you press it, right? If it doesn't come up, use this back arrow to get to where you see that, right?
Oh, I'm there. Yep.
Okay, cool. So then first option, you want to select microphone to let it know what kind of microphone you got. Okay? Your particular case, like Alex and myself, you have a dynamic microphone. So Rode is smart. They put all of their things in.
Yeah.
Can somebody type in the chat timestamp 125 just to help me out? And then I'll come back to that. Any one of you guys can type timestamp 1:25:00. It'll help me do my chapters later. Anyway, so you're going to press dynamic, and that's there. Okay, you're going to go back, and then we're going to press level. This is the money game right here. Okay. In your best Keely excitement voice, and you know what proximity you sit at. Like I eat the mic because I like, proximity effect. It's a thing. Alex eats the mic as well. You're, doing the step off, which is cool. I'll let you Salisbury steak up my show for a minute, but
I'm this many away.
Yeah, 3
By the way,
fingers,
real
3
quick-
to 4
real
fingers
quick,
is
Doc.
fine.
Real quick, just to show people the difference. So my SM7 is hooked up via a
Cloud lifter.
FET head, and
No, FET,
so
same thing.
my levels are at 23.
Correct.
Yours is just plugged straight into the Rodecaster Pro. Your levels are at 41. And what I want people to realize, because a lot of people say you got to have a cloud lifter, you absolutely do not. Not with the Rodecaster Pro. Its preamps are remarkably good, and Doc's audio is fantastic, even without a cloud lifter.
Well, the difference, you have the born and raised polite English voice. I have the loud ass Puerto Rican voice, so
Right,
I don't need a
that's
cloud lifter. Me and India could not need a cloud lifter, even if you paid us. If I was sponsored by a
Can we
cloud
get
lifter,
him an opposite of a cloud
yeah, I need a cloud,
Cloud
smasher.
cloud
Okay,
downer.
so you would know automatically, and I'm glad Alex brought that up because that's actually a valuable point. Don't pay attention to my number. My number is my number. That's none of your damn business. Stay off my number. And being the life, the universe, and anything all after it, I kind of want to change it to 42. There you go. Just because of Hitchhiker's Guide. I'm a nerd. Anyway, so what you want to do, if you see me talking, they see me rolling, frustrated. Okay, as I'm talking, you notice I am hitting the very edge of that green box. That's where I want to be. What that allows me to do, my ECAM levels are all at 80. Right? I keep them at 80 because I know that where I am, as long as I'm hitting the edge of that green box, I'm fine. If I happen to break out of that box because I laugh at something crazy that Lemuel says, or, do my little, which I do, it just bounces past the line, but it doesn't pass the last line, which is peaking. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll touch that line, when I go, woo, or do something like that. Like I'll hit that line, but I'm not really passing that line. Right.
Okay.
Now I'm also cognizant that because I moved into 42, I can't do it really. I got to stay at 41. But that is, that's your level. Like, and so when Alex is at 26, when Alex speaks, he hits the edge of that box too, or the middle of that box. Let's try.
Yeah, mine's hitting around the middle, almost peaking at the top of the green.
Yeah. Wait, I just messed up my circles. But yeah, so yeah, he's right there. And so this is where you want to be. This is when we were talking about in the eCam community that day, and I was talking to folks about gain staging. That's what it is. Keely, you don't have to record this. You just come back to the video at 1 hour and 30 minutes exactly.
Oh, come on. You think that's what I'm doing? You just hold your horses there, friend. You just give me a second. I got something for you.
Hello, Keely.
Before you start changing those levels, though, make sure your fader's set to Unity gain.
Yes, I forgot that. Thank you, Alex. See, I'm glad you came here. Yeah, so Unity gain, Keely, will be the thick white line on your mixer.
Okay, and so Unity gain means the
Okay,
middle?
I take that back. Let me fix this. Let me back this up. Here's something I have a problem with the Rodecaster Pro. And June pointed this out, and I want to remind everyone again, there's a valuable lesson to be learned. What we're seeing in the LED screen, that is gain. Right?
Okay.
LCD. I'm sorry. That's gain. What we're doing with the sliders, that's level. Gain is input. Level is output.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, they mislabeled it because they're trying to make it easy for everybody. And I wish people would stop doing that, because you're actually hurting the neophytes later, because they walk through the rest of their life with the wrong terminology. And then they get most sound people are weird. You get to the actual sound man at the event that you're hosting with like a couple, 20,000 people in the stadium here to see Keely talk about, umpiring. And then she's like, hey, can I get a little bit more gain? They'd be like, what? No, lady. Like, what do you know about gain? And because you said it wrong. So anyway, technically that green stuff that's moving, that's actually gain. We're adjusting what the mic sounds like coming in, right? So this machine, I believe, has like 65 decibels of gain, right? We're currently, I don't even know if they're accurate, but we're currently using 41 of them to get this mic to fit in that little gap, right? What Alex's thing does is it provides an additional 26 fed head, and an additional 26 decibels of gain. So Alex can take his in and bring it back because he's getting more gain out of the little stick piece that's in the back, hanging up there by the very back edge. You can see it a little bit. Oh, actually, no, that was a thing. Man, I zoomed it up and all of a sudden it was just Alex's forehead. Okay, I'm gonna stop messing with that scroll wheel because on the MX mouse it's sensitive. Anyway, so what Unity means, and this is kind of important, and I tell people this all the time, every mixer, every soundboard, everything out there, you'll either see a 0 or a little infinity mark. Sometimes it's marked with a U. Sometimes it's just a thicker white line than the rest, an indexed line. Indexed to the point on some mixers, when you turn it, it bites in that spot. Like it has a detent, like it kind of clicks. For us, the thickest white line in that, up and down is Unity's. So the one in the middle, it is 2, 3, 4, 5 down from the top. By starting to adjust your level with the level there, and then do your gain inside the screen to get the right volume, number one, you give yourself more room to work. If you ever need to come up, you have room. Mm-hmm. But number two, it's you get everybody to sound similar at that line. So your guests come in when we're back in meet space and you got 3 other mics plugged in, you want everybody to have the same level at that little white chicle. If everybody is the same level at that chicle, everybody's pretty much going to sound the same on the way out. And We just all want unity anyway. That was a Queen Latifah song. So yeah,
I appreciated the Queen reference for sure. That was dope. Thank
there
you.
you go. So yeah, that kind of helps out. That kind of helps out a lot. And if you do there, now you have room to flow. Like if you ever need to come in and somebody says, "Hey, can I get a little bit more from you?" Because maybe their system's not set properly, you have those 5 chicles that
You have
you
some
can give them
headroom there.
extra. Yeah, exactly. That's where the term headroom comes from. Room to come up, right?
Can we just pause for a moment?
Fulgence said, "I need a cloud diffuser."
You do. I would just like to acknowledge the fact that I went into preview mode. I set up a new scene that just has my NDX iPhone output. And then I published it. And now I can go back and forth. And I'm sorry, I'm just so excited.
You see? I mean,
Hey, did I just test my levels? How are my levels?
that was good.
No.
Now, look at that. And if I can see from what you have coming inside here, like you're at the right spot. You know what I mean?
Okay, good.
So that MV7, correct me if I'm wrong, that MV7 is actually a little hotter than this. I think just because they got tired of being bitched at by everybody about wanting more gains, I think they might have actually gave it more gain in the box. Because I haven't double checked this, but I think it's a SM57 element inside there, or SM58 element inside there.
Or it's based on it's SM57 style, the same technology.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word I was trying to say. Sherwin, stop making fun of me. That's kind of funny. But yeah, so now Keely, with your settings set like that, you're good to go. So let's back out. We're going to do one more thing. Now we're going to press on audio processing. Okay. Now, everyone's use case is going to be different, gang. These are guidelines for you to find your feel, but literally it. My high pass filter is basically native because my voice is deep. I really didn't need that. I also don't have any 60 cycle hum coming from my room. I don't have noise in other places. I left my high pass filter basically native. Okay. I do not use the noise gate because I wear condoms. I ain't got no kids. So I don't have to worry about, noise in the background. None of that. Mine's is off. People who have noise coming in, they might have it on. Alex, as you can see by his screen, has a ceiling fan. Turning that ceiling fan off in a studio full of lights and equipment, Alex would probably turn into a marshmallow. It'd be like melting and stuff. So leave the fan on, turn the noise gate on. You don't hear the fan. And then even because he has it set properly, when he talks, you still don't even hear the fan because it's only opening enough for him to say stuff. And then when he's quiet, it closes the door. So we're not listening to his empty room.
And
You know
the
what I'm
key
saying?
to that is proximity to this microphone. I could have 3 fans running in here. I can set my noise gate to where all of that audio is rejected simply because I'm 1 inch from the end of my microphone, and I don't
Right.
have to have my mic sensitivity all the way up.
Key.
Right. So your
No.
gain is low, so your noise floor is low. Okay.
If you
got
don't
it.
mind, Mr. Alex, can you temporarily just turn off your noise gate and don't say nothing? Let's just see if we can hear room noise.
Sure.
Their room's still pretty quiet.
It's fairly quiet, even with the fan. Honestly, it's so much of it has to do with the mic.
Yeah.
Even without
we try
any
mine?
processing,
Yeah.
this mic really rejects noise.
Put your screen on so I can see.
Yep. Oops.
Oh, we got one thing. Okay, turn it
Yeah.
on. Turn it on.
She's on older firmware.
Yep. Okay, Keely, the one thing we're going to have to do, we're going to want to update you to the new firmware, but don't do it now
Right.
because it will.
Not during a live stream. What?
Yeah, no, it will make Ecan will get pissed because I did it live. It didn't work. I'm gonna show
It
you
will
guys
get
how to
pissed.
update the firmware, dude. My computer was like, that was loud. I was like, oh, what's going on? And it was coming out of my K Rockers too. So, oh my God, that was so stupid. Don't do that. But
Now, although bear in mind, when you do update your firmware, you will lose reverb.
yeah,
I don't know why they did away with it, but they did.
Yeah, she's not going to sing. Reverb's kind of nice on certain voices, but as long as we're not doing Jamaican sound system, beer, rude boy, come collect that.
Nope, too white bread for that. Sorry.
Hey, man, come on. I learned it from my UK
Being
friends,
proper.
actually, which is more crazy. In my ska days, then I figured out what sound system was. I'm like, sound system is the bomb. Okay. It's like tech support. Yes, you got to have the proper terminology. Yeah, it's very true. Very, very true. And that's why I say people think, oh, you don't got to be, it's not important. Yes, it's very important because if you start Googling for help yourself and you're Googling the wrong words, you're not going to find the answer. So that's why I always yell at you guys to get your nomenclature straight. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to want is your de-esser. Now, right now, I believe on your particular screen, you basically have on or off. Leave it on. You may or may not have to tune it. When you get your update together, it's going to look sort of like what Alex has going on his right now, right?
Okay.
Can I, let me see. I'm going to put this back there, and then I'm going to press this. Okay, let me move this for a second. So
Here, I'll turn mine off so it's less confusing.
So on Alex's screen, which is the one in the middle, people watching at home, you run the Rode app. Once you get your firmware updated, like the app is going to be a friend because you can do all of this stuff without playing around in the sliders. And then so you can kind of see what you're going on. The point of a de-esser is people who have lots of sibilance in their voice. People that just have long S's when they talk. I have kind of a lot of sibilance. So does India, and so does my brother Daryl. My brother Daryl is like, yes, Queen, yes. He always with the sibilance.
Your brother
I'm
Daryl
like,
and your other brother Daryl?
no, my legitimate brother Daryl. My brother Daryl is my sister
might have been a
Daryl, and
Canadian joke, sorry.
he has long S's. And so you would want to have the sibilance, and a lot of it has to do with just the way your teeth are shaped and the way you tongue your S's. And so that's what the de-esser does, because it's really harsh for certain people. Like for other people to listen, they get ear fatigue. So you will adjust accordingly. Once you get the firmware updated, we can revisit that in the group. But I just want to explain to people who are trying to tune their Roadcasters at home, that's what the de-esser is going to do. Did I miss anything, Alex?
Say again.
Did I miss anything?
No,
Okay.
you got it.
Okay, so let's jump. This for now, Keely, leave it on. Let's go to compressor.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the hardest one. I'm gonna save that last. No, that's I'm sorry, gang. I'm me. So I'm gonna hide this. Just know that Alex has effects mode on and he's showing us his screen. So this is where you adjust your compressor. Now, I have my threshold same as Alex at about that range. However, because I am loud, my ratio is at 3-1. Alex has a calm, quiet voice, so 2-1 is good. I think it comes out of the box at like 2-1. Okay.
It does.
When you become if you're a louder person or you have a person on your show, you can adjust the master compressor on the master channel. You might want to fix that because all that's doing is keeping me from breaking into the red. If you know nothing about mixers, if you look at your car stereo meter or even software, when you see the red, the thing is just stuck all the way at the top at red. It normally sounds like crap. You sound like Limwell.
I knew
Right.
you were going to say that.
This
come
is
on.
also this is also the way to make sure that your noise gate is set correctly as well, though. You can
okay.
watch this graph, and when I stop talking, it should go completely silent, but as soon as I start talking, it kicks back in with no delay, which means the noise gate should be set correctly.
And that is
Okay.
key. That is key.
That super helps.
And you see where he has his attack on like 2 milliseconds? That's why as soon as Alex stops, it goes away. Now, you have heard people on a podcast or something, and when they talk, there's a little tss, tss, and it like closes as soon as they stop. They don't have their noise gate set right. And they have their attack. Actually, I take it back. They have their release on their compressor too long. So as soon as they stop, you hear a little bit of noise and then it disappears. They probably have their release at like, way above a second. So it actually takes a second for the release to close the door. So that's where you're coming, right? Now, in the next level, so we got attack and release. I kind of just explained it. Attack is how fast the compressor kicks in when you start. and then how quickly it lets go of the compressor when you stop talking. Average people, for the most part, 2 and 2.2 are perfectly, 0.22 are perfectly fine for the average people. In a really, really large environment, noisy environment, I might have that release quicker. But you hear people talking and their word gets cut off at the end where they sound a little bit geeky, right? That's because their release is too tight. That's called a tight compressor. So you got to play with that release to make sure that your words aren't getting cut off, right? And so for the most part, these settings, as Alex has it, you can screenshot it. That's pretty normal for most people. Again, the only thing I've done to mine is I've increased my ratio because I know for a fact I am louder. And then after you do that, you say, oh, it's not as loud though. The pickup gain, that's the bottom. So Rodecaster already figured out that for what you're trying to do in a dynamic mic, and trust me, they modeled this dynamic mic settings around the SM7B because they know that's what people are fitting to put in there. So they put the pickup gain back already at 4.5. Now for you with that new mic, your pickup gain might be hot, so you can kind of come down a little bit, but your audience will let you know. I think it sounds fine as now, so you probably don't need it. And you already have the compressor switched on, correct?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so you sound fine. Now, we're going to quiet and then say a couple of sentences and then stop, and then say a couple of sentences and stop. And let me see if I can hear your release. I'm going to turn on my headphones real quick.
Okay. Do I start talking now? Because, Doc, I don't want to just sound fine. I want to sound fine. You know what I'm saying? I want to sound better.
It sounds
just
great.
fine.
It sounds absolutely
good.
great. Yeah, so yours is really good, actually. Your release is fine. So you kind of won't have to mess with, I just hit that. You won't have to mess with your compressor too much. I think your compressor is on point. So we're going to back out. And the last thing in the Rodecaster Pro will be your Aphex Oral Exciter. Now,
Don't
yes,
forget
Alex.
master. Don't forget the master channel.
Oh, yeah, at the end.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So go to your Aphex Oral Exciter. Now, you're going to see.
Look, I'm sorry. Can we just stop for a second with these names?
It's
The oral
oral.
exciter, the big bottom. What
Oral.
What
like
the
in
Sam Hill
ears.
is happening here?
Those are the names of the plugins from the radio days, and they've
Yes.
just carried those plugin names over to the Rodecaster.
They were generated
They
by
licensed.
dudes.
Yeah, they licensed these plugins for the Rodecaster Pro.
So yes,
Yes,
they were
I know the
generated
patriarchy's
by
been
dudes.
around for a long time, but let's face it, people.
So for instance, I have my tune at 36,000 kilohertz because I'm deeper, the voice. I have my harmonics at like 60, and I have my mix at 50, and so thank you, Tamara Benjamin. I appreciate you. Yeah. So you may or may not have to tune it again. You just turn it on and off, and you will hear a huge difference in your voice. So if I turn mine off, all of a sudden I lose a little bit of my bass, but not too much because I am naturally boomy. But yeah, that's my sound. And here now you'll really hear it once that's off. Now you should hear my bass just kind of disappeared a little bit, but again, I am naturally bassy, so there's that. But this is what gives you that little extra push. Now, again, when you first turn it on, just try it, see how you like it. You may or may not like it. Most people turn it on because it just gives a full and richness to that mic, and Alex has tuned his a lot. And that's good. You tune it accordingly to what you need.
I like the effects, but I like to use them very subtly. I don't like to overdrive them. And, I don't have Doc's voice. I don't have Doc's low register. So if I bring in a lot of big bottom, it begins to sound robotic. It sounds just remarkably fake at that point. Doc can get away with it. He can drive his a lot more than I can.
Yeah, I can do tone look. Just do it.
Yeah.
Funky Gold Medina. Yeah. So, and for you,
Drake.
and for you, again, nothing to do with you being a female, but being a female, you definitely probably don't want to do it because it will sound like a robot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have some registers in your voice that are missing. So if you crank up your big bottom, sorry, I'm
You see
scared
how-
now
you see
because
what I've done. You
no,
see what
I'm
I've done?
scared. I'm scared. I'm trying to get a red card out here. You know, but if you crank, and I want Corey to be like, "What you say about my lady, sucker?" No, so yeah, if you don't want to
he's a
crank it up
stoic,
too
he's
much
fine.
because it will get. You've heard it before. I'm just trying to think where you've heard it before, but it has like a strange sound, and
Yeah.
it actually warbles in the low registers. And again, people of a certain vintage, us, we start to lose our high hearing, but we hear our deeps for a while. So it's
Yeah.
even more irritating and it becomes problematic to the listener.
Okay, I've just turned on the oral exciter, and the thing that I'm struggling with, Doc, is that and Alex, that I have these, monitors that are plugged straight into the RCP, and this is a different audio experience for me to hear so much detail, like every single little vibration I can hear
Welcome to the
through
party.
everything. So it's freaking me out. So I don't know if this oral exciter is as terrible as it sounds to me because it's so exaggerated for my ears, or if it's,
Switch
when
it
I
back
turn it
off
off
again?
like this, like
switch it
that sounds better to me. I don't sound so like hissy tinny. I don't know. Is that
Yeah,
a
I mean,
word?
it's
Is that a
bringing in a
term?
lot of sibilance out in your voice, and so here's the thing. For me, I go very light. I go very easy on the big bottom because I don't have that low register. For you. You have you have a female voice naturally, so your high register is more pronounced, and so you can go a lot easier or skip the oral exciter completely.
Correct.
Yeah,
Because
so I've just
you
turned
don't
it off.
really need those. You don't need those high frequencies.
And in the
driven
firmware
in.
that you have right now, you don't have the ability to slide the mix back. I think it comes out of the box with the mix at like 60 or 70. So when you update the firmware, you could turn it on and then slide the mix down to like 20, like how Alex has it, and it will give that little polish, but it won't be like glossing or like irritated, right? Right
Okay.
now, we're smothering a perfectly good Wagyu burger in ketchup. When
But
you
again,
just
you
need
have to
Fries.
balance that.
you need a
and you-
tiny
and-
little dab.
Yeah. And whatever you do with the oral exciter, make sure you try to balance it with the de-esser.
Correct. Yeah.
These all have to work hand in hand to end up sounding good.
Doc, can you tell Jen to stop arguing with me? In the chat. So I've just turned on Big Bottom, and I know it's very trendy these days, but I'm not sure how I feel about having one. So how does this sound? Like
Sounds good.
again,
I
my
like it.
ears aren't. You
Yeah,
like
I like
it?
the fullness of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Doc, do you
Sounds
like
good.
the voice?
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry. Maybe
Yes.
I'm just a 7-year-old boy in my head, but judging myself in my head as well. Like
No, and you know what?
Anyway.
I talked about this a couple streams ago, but as human beings, it's actually hard for us to hear our own voice because
Yeah.
we hear it in the echo resonance of our brain cavity. So to hear it reflected back through the oral input is absolutely weird to us. It sounds different. The rest of the planet, in this case, this is where you have to let the people tell you what it sounds like. And so I get kind of, as a sound person, I get irritated when people say, well, I like my voice to sound this way, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you have no idea what your voice sounds like. I don't care who you are. I don't care how good your trained ears are, all of that. It's different. You're hearing it different. You have to have the ability to put yourself in the perception space of what the other person hears. Now, to show you how crazy this is, you can actually buy a mannequin head with microphones right here and an XLR cable to hear how you sound in different places in a theater hall. That's how they make the fake theater hall plugins so you can sound like you're in the Sydney arena, because they actually took that mannequin head with and they sampled it and then okay, let's make the plugin match. So yeah, just don't get so twisted. And also, once you have your settings, turn your headphone guy back, because again, you just need to hear your guess. Hearing your own self will probably mess you up.
Right. So if I do that and then do this, nope, that didn't work. I turned off all my sound. I'll figure
Your
out
headphones
how
are
to do
the ones underneath the red warning thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know
Sorry,
why-
I didn't mean it to
I
sound
refuse
like
to
that.
take mine off. I don't know why.
Unless you've taken off the red warning thing.
I know. I just like it. You know what? You know what it's for? I
Oh,
leave
no.
it there, so that way when Emma comes in, she will, Uncle, what are these knobs? And then I'll put my headphones on and blast my face off. So I leave it there so she won't touch it.
No,
She'll-
I tear off the labels off mattresses and everything. I hate extra labels. Okay, I'll figure out how to do those sounds.
Michelle printed
Later.
herself a leopard skin one, which I just think is pure fantastic.
What, Michelle? Please screenshot this and send it to me
Yo,
immediately.
she has a leopard skin cover because I think Rode gives you a sticker that you could put over your pads to label your pads or
Yeah.
something. Somehow she made a leopard one.
Got mine.
Jay's making fun of my Jamaican sound system thing because he's in Jamaica. Select.
I just print my own labels. Of course, you can't see that because this camera's useless, but I use a label maker, print my own labels, and stick those on the Rodecaster Pro.
That's
I
cool.
appreciate that attention to detail.
Yeah.
Slash OCD-ness. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, otherwise I'm going to end up playing the wrong intro music for the wrong show. And
Tony. Yes.
Welcome,
All right.
Tony.
I'm just checking the comments. Yes, aggressive noise gate is extremely annoying, and oh my god, it kills me. I'm like, bruh, I really gotta help. You guys are teasing. No, I know it's a new Heart thing. I used to watch that show, but I'm brother Daryl. My brother Daryl should be my sister Daryl, but he's we're family. He's cool. He's fabulous. According
No,
to
I
him.
asked the crowd because I was like, wait, where does Daryl and my other brother Daryl come in? And
Yeah, it was Newhart.
Yeah.
It's Newhart.
I'm not old at all.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. So yeah, it's definitely a thing though, to make sure that you don't set your headphone levels so aggressive that you confuse yourself, right? And then so now Alex is reminding me because I almost forgot. This is going to be harder from your setup, but if you don't have the software, leave it there, Alex. I'm just covering it for a second.
all right.
You press the red M, that brings you to your master channel inside the Rodecaster Pro if you're ever operating it without the computer, right? And you want to adjust the compressor, you need to know that pressing the red M brings you to your master channel. Now, Alex has the analogous of that over here on the screen because, again, once you download the Rode app, Keely, to add your new firmware, you can do all of this from the screen. Way easier from the computer screen, I should specify. Way easier than sliding things over here with your finger. It's just simple. Yeah. And it's more, I don't know. I guess it just, to me, the interface was better. So again, he's got the threshold at 15. I'm absolutely there. My master is at 3.1. Absolutely there. My attack is the same at 1. My release is the same at 96. And my makeup gain is at 7. So we have the exact same master compressor settings. But, again, different environment might make you want to go in and change stuff. But more than likely, when you update your firmware, it's going to be like this. So you shouldn't have to mess with the master channel. But again, if you hear any weird pumping, that's the sound where when people are talking, it goes boom, boom. And you can hear it, man. I wish I had examples of pumping compressor audio. I'll source some. I'll go look for some bad examples of pumping. And I'll place them in the Let's Get Live community so you guys can hear it. So you know what compressor set horribly sounds like. And same with when I catch somebody on the streets with a whack noise gate, I'm going to capture it, point it out, and put it in. And then my brother will be highly upset with me. Okay, I'm done with this. Alex, you can bring back your Alex face. See, so quick with those buttons. My brother would be upset with me if I didn't point out what we did for Keely back like a little bit ago and teaching her to properly address her mic is probably the number one thing that most folks are doing wrong. And I get it. They're repeating other people or following other people or looking at examples. And so, on the bottom, Keely, I
Yep.
don't know. There's a spinner. So you might have it tight as you can, but you turn the little spinner upwards and then they bite and then they become stuck. Does that make sense?
Okay. I'll just figure this out later instead of
Actually, now we're done.
trying
now
to do
that we're
live.
done tuning. Now that we're done tuning audio, I'm gonna switch back to my
Regular headphones. See, that's
Earphones,
another
yeah.
thing. Alex, man, you got the secret sauce today. When I did all of my setup, I did not use these. When I did all my setup, I used my cans because the cans are just better for
right.
getting it dialed in. Now these are just for listening. But if you happen to have a set of cans, almost any brand, they'll just be better because of the way they're set up. These are dope. Like these are really good.
Yeah.
But I still do all my tuning. And my cans are so bad that they flake. Like I take them off. I have like little specks all in my hair. But they're AKG
Your hair?
like AKG MT50s or something. And I just got a new set that
mine
came
are
with the
the
SM7B.
mine are the venerable HD 280 Pros,
Oh,
Sennheisers.
Sennheisers.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Very
Fulgens has a
flat.
question.
Yes, I'm trying to see. I'm getting there. Yes, Fulgen's question.
And he's very important
In-ear
because he's my
monitor
candle
level.
inspiration.
So your in-ear monitors, it's whatever's comfortable to you.
Correct.
Whatever you want to hear from your guests or whatever feedback you want to hear, that's what you set your level at. Because that's not actually going out into the stream, so it doesn't matter.
And there's no unity
for the-
line in
for
the
streaming
headphone
purposes.
area, actually. When you look at the headphone area, there's no unity line anyway. Why are
Okay,
you
now I'm
making sounds,
confused.
Keely? What?
I'm confused. I'm sorry because I thought the headphone cluster up the top with the 4 channels. I thought that they all referred to the 4 headphone output
do.
jacks.
They do.
On
They
the
do.
back. Okay.
They do.
Yep.
So that only
But
controls
those-
what I can hear.
That's just what you can hear. That doesn't control what goes out to the stream.
Right.
The
so
fader itself
how would I
controls
turn
what goes to
down?
the stream.
Okay, how would I turn down my mic channel in my own ears but not out to the stream?
Turn
You
on
would
the
have
headphone
to
jack.
turn down volume, whatever it is, controller 1, but it will turn down the volume for all of the channels.
For everything.
not just
Okay.
that
So
one channel.
I misunderstood what we were talking about before. Cool. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there's another thing that people don't play around with a lot. You can use the green button, which is your solo, at the bottom of each channel. Sorry, let me camera this. I'll just put a bubble camera. Hey, Doc. Good to see you. Jerk face. Oh, I see. CV1, you want to be upside down. Okay.
Oh, there we go. So now I can mute myself. Sorry, I jumped ahead. Yes.
Yo, that was weird. What the heck did I just do? Say something?
Me?
Anybody?
Oh,
Oh, that is so crazy.
Really?
All of a sudden, my output,
Here.
when I added this, it decided that my output is now not my Rodecaster Pro. Anyway,
In
we're gonna
eCam,
ignore
it
this.
switched.
This
So
button
eCam
over here
switched inputs on you.
basically allows you to solo a single
Yeah.
channel into your ear. Oh, that's why I can't hear you, dummy, because I soloed it. I'm so stupid. So if you want to double check individual channel levels as they're talking, you can do various solo modes and you can only hear that. Now you can gang solo modes so you hear everything but this. So if I don't want to hear you guys to do that, if I want to make sure I only hear us, I can do that and I don't hear the special effects at all. So I can hear it because my KRKs are on, but yeah. So that's the solo buttons and they're good to know that they exist.
Yeah, I was using the mute buttons for the individual channels this morning. So how was it? We were watching a game. So everybody had the match up on their individual computers. So I'm listening to the sound, but that was being fed into the Rodecaster Pro. And then when I was speaking on Clubhouse, I was bringing in the game sound. So it took me a hot minute, but I did learn that if I muted that USB channel using the prominently labeled red do not make sound button. I could then take that. I'm just saying. I could take that sound right out, and then it was a much cleaner sound for the listeners on Clubhouse. So excellent learning on the fly.
Wait, did you send her the what you call it, or did you send her this sound?
She sent me a picture of the leopard thing because I want to see it. That's what I was asking her for.
Okay, Caleb, good to see you here, boss man. No, I just wondered if you were getting the sound because that's important to have.
Another
yeah, I
tip
want
for
that too.
folks.
Oh, although none of my people would understand it, so that's okay.
Another little
Do you
tip
have
for
a
folks
whistle?
if they still happen.
Go ahead, Alex.
Sorry, Alex, we keep cutting you off.
That's okay. If folks still happen to use Skype, Skype mix minus is out its own audio, so you can leave your mix minus turned off. Then you can mute and solo your mic channel and the USB channel and have a talk back with your Skype guests that won't go into the stream. Just so
That's cool.
Just a little tip for folks.
Oh, don't tell anybody
Have we-
who's asking for that feature all over the forums. I do
you
have a
can't
whistle
do
sound.
it with so the way
Ecamm
Ecamm's
routes audio
interview
off.
feature works, it sends the guest audio channel straight into the stream. The only way you'd be able to make that happen really is to put it on a separate channel. And Ken and Glenn, I've spoken to them about it, and that's not going to be on the roadmap, I don't believe. So they've set it up. They've set up a way now, I think, where folks can talk back just by muting, I believe, muting the audio.
Correct. And then Prima, don't worry. Like if after you get your stuff, you want to go through it. Like I've done this talk inside the Ecamm community about 8 times. Alex has done it like 4 or 5 times. It exists. Like I've done it. Tom Buck is now in our community. Like he's done it. Alex has done it. India's done it. Arcade 3 has done it. Like we've all done it. But when Keely says she wanted her own class because it's Keely and that's how she think, I'm like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Where do I sign? Because I love
let me
Keely
ask
because
this.
she's the bomb.
While Keela's on here, do these touch controls, are they only active when it's plugged in via USB?
I believe
or will
so.
they also change things over XLR?
I think
Because
they
if
only work
change
in
things over
USB.
XLR, we got something else to work on.
Yeah, no, I think it's only USB because they're not even lit right now.
There, I don't see them lit up, right?
Yeah, because it's a software, right? That again, a lot of people they download the mic. The mic just works, right? You plug it in, right? Because it's core audio, basic, ODD-BC, USB connector, like weird stuff. Anyway, and then they're like, well, I wish I could do compressor and effects. I'm like, you got an MV7, yeah. So put the Shure Motive app on, and you got everything we got in the Rodecaster Pro built into the Shure. What? I was like, okay, when you got the Shure, right? It came with one of these.
Did you open
Did
the
you go like
manual?
this? Okay.
Right.
I want you to go to the second page, read the third line, first paragraph. Go to shure.com/downloads/motive. Oh, I didn't do that. Well, it's on you, player. That's what these are for. This is not to make the box heavier so that UPS can get more money for shipping.
It's not to destroy
Well,
trees.
I'm glad that it's disabled over XLR because that would just
that would just
add
be a
even
drama.
more ways to screw up your audio, right?
Well,
there.
these are not so bad because you don't tend to grab them. But could you just imagine how many people would grab the mic and you ever they're changing stuff?
Yeah.
Like I like the little stick that I learned about
it would-
because I can just hold it like this.
Listen, I like it when I see folks who've gone out and spent $400 on one of these, however much they've spent on an interface, and then
Keely.
talk into the mic like this.
Stop it.
I'm
no,
teasing.
I
I'm
was
teasing.
talking the right way. It was just turned the wrong way around.
No, I'm just teasing because that drives June crazy, bruh.
Really?
If I screenshot you guys all of the times June is in my DM, bruh, you see so and so got their mic upside down. I go, yeah, and I told them. He goes, yeah, I told them too. They refused to change it. I said, all right, if they want to think they look cool, let them look good and sound like crap. I won't mention any names.
I told Jun, I told him in the chat, I was like, I apologize because when I'm an
I saw
umpire
that.
and when I make a mistake, I say, I'm sorry, I misunderstood him.
I saw that.
I thought, I thought it was because of the angle it was coming in from the side, and that was ruining everything. So no,
and the thing is, you're willing to learn, and it sounds much better addressed the way you have it addressed, and so that's perfectly fine. The only other thing that becomes for the SM7B people, I keep fighting back and forth between this cap and this cap. I like the style of this cap, but I think it mutes a lot of my bass.
It does. It really does. I love using that, but it really does mute. It really does mute the input. Hey, I just sent you a name. Tell me if that's the name you were thinking of in Messenger, Doc.
Hey, don't be spilling tea in the messenger.
We throwing shade. Yep, there you go.
That's rude if you're not including me. I'm just saying.
No, because again, I've told the person, their family, they're supposed to listen to me. All right, so does it sound different when I use the Big Daddy? I don't know why I like it. You like this better? All right, cool. I'm leaving it.
Yeah.
All right, small
great.
afro out of here. 1970s afro back on.
Sorry, can we A/B
man, that
test
sounds
again? Just
really
flip
good.
back one more time, Doc. Flip back one more time.
Hold your ears, folks.
Yep. I mean, you could always mute that on your Rodecaster Pro. But,
Why? Why would I do that? Okay, so this is the regular one.
right.
Sorry, Keely. This is the regular one.
All
I
right,
can
hold
say
on.
Prima
Let me
Q
do this
says.
properly.
Okay, Prima Q says, Eileen Smith, I will need to come back and get my equipment set up. Is the chat saved in the YouTube recording? And Miss Eileen Smith says, Prima Q. Why, yes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's switch back to the other filter.
Okay.
Sorry, Alex.
Jun's being nice to me, and I don't understand.
Okay.
I'm confused.
Eileen Smith, I need to come back after I get my equipment set up. Is the chat saved in the YouTube recording? Eileen Smith, Prima Q. Why, yes, it is.
I prefer that it's darker. It's a darker sound with your tone. That is much better. It's a lot brighter with the other
Keely's other co-host.
I know, but I like a little more brightness in his voice, to be honest.
I can fix that.
I understand what you're saying about the muting. It does sound a little.
But you know, I think this will help out a lot is when the plosives comes off. Yeah, I can add a little bit of highs back in with the oral exciter, and so yeah, I think it's a good test. I'm glad that because I was doing it based off of me hearing, and like I said, you can't really go by what you hear because you hear different. Like you know what I'm saying? You sound funny than all get. All right, gang. So let me just Fanblade's coming. Fanblade's coming.
To my ear, it's a darker quality, and I prefer that
me too.
in broadcast audio than that brighter. Which to me, the really bright stuff is kind of like the RE20 radio mic sound.
Yeah, that's why I don't like the high PR40s either because
right.
they have a weird notch in the middle that just drives my head crazy. They're fantastic mics for most people. I'm a weirdo, and I know this. There's a certain notch in there that when someone hits that register, my neck does. Ow! I felt that. Don't do that. You know, and so it just depends on people's on voice clicks. And you know what, Keisha, brother Keith, Pastor Keith in the group, he showed the other day like how you can model mics differently using the UAD plugins. It's legit. Like, but again, it's one of those things that we told everybody to go out and get a $700 twin or a $900 twin. They'd probably lose their mind, but it definitely sounds good. I'm afraid that with new content creators, what you're afraid I'm new with the other two content creators. Oh no, you're good. You're good. We'll get everybody straight on getting their mics sounding right because it's your show, bro. The mic is probably more important than everything else, but everybody's so focused on cameras and stuff. But I'd rather you come at me with 720p thumbprint right in the middle of your old MacBook. But if you sound good, I can focus on that, right? If you sound bad, I can't do it. I will literally change YouTube channels because it doesn't sound good. And here's a prime example. I want you to go to ESPN channel, okay? ESPN channel, different shows have different interns, okay? So if we're doing the Alex Keely and Doc Field Hockey special show, between Alex and I, our intern is leveling the clips. All the clips are going to come in at -14 loudness at full scale. So everyone listening on your phone, in your car, will sound perfectly fine. Go to the next show and it could be da-da-da, da-da-da. Today we were looking at Magic Johnson. What? Huh? I can't hear it. So what do? You crank up the TV, or your Sony or Samsung or LG tries to crank it up for you. And those systems in the TVs aren't very quick. So when the commercial comes on, bah! And then it goes down, right? I can't stand that. It's called a loudness standard for a reason. Netflix wants everything at -23 loudness at full scale. If you listen to Netflix shows from show to show to show to show, you never have to touch the volume because they're a-holes about it. But YouTube, they don't be like that. A&E. Anybody in America, listen to A&E, listen to your show, and then watch the commercial come on. The commercials on A&E are freaking loud as I've sent complaint letters. I was almost going to pull a Ken and send them to the FCC because it's irritating AF.
Yeah, listen, I agree. But two things. First of all, talking about sounding bad, how did that shotgun mic test work out for you?
I'm not finished yet.
And
You already know, where I'm going to be because
Yeah, I know exactly where you're
physics
gonna
is
be.
physics, bruh. Like, I
Right.
want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but physics is physics. Like, it kind of don't. Yeah, Spud Webb at 5'2" dunking the basketball is a rarity.
yeah. And the
How
other
many
thing,
people
and this-
since him have been able to do that?
Oh, no.
Absolutely. I watched Caleb Pike, his DSLR shooter. He did a shotgun mic review of all of them, including the one, Doc, that you have. So
I
I'm
love
not going to
Caleb,
spoil
and he
it
loves
out
talking
either.
in that thing, but I don't.
He does love his shotgun mics. He does.
Yeah, it's
But he put that one really low on the list, to be honest.
it's gonna
Sorry,
it's gonna
I spoiled.
sound funny to me too because I have such a boomy voice, and those interference tubes aren't listening for low quality. The interference tubes are trying to get ambience, and ambience normally lives at above 40K. You know what I'm saying? So in general, except for the truck driving by, normally ambience lives at 40K and higher. So it's not going to work. I'm pretty sure I'm somewhere in 27. I'm pretty far down there. I'm with you, bro. If I'm hearing it, and it'd be a good clip, or I really want to hear this video, and if it's low and I got to change my volume, you're out. You ghost. I'm sorry. Click away. So we'll talk about that later, gang. I got a half an hour to reset and get ready for class. I appreciate you, Alex, for helping me getting Keely dialed in. Umpire, I expect
Thank
that
you
I'm
both, you guys.
next
That was
person, I'm gonna
fantastic.
trip them. I bet not get a penalty for tripping them because I helped you out.
Look, I'm not the boss of every umpire out there. Actually, I am, but
That's funny.
I let them do them. So
That's super funny. This was fun. I like to get it. We got a chance to get technical and still cover some basics. And
absolutely, yeah.
that's dope. I don't know. All of a sudden today, I feel like I'm semblancing more than normal. So I'm going to call my brother Daryl. That is my.
I have that effect on men.
Yeah, that is hey girl, hey. I'm gonna call my brother Daryl and be like, hey, because of my friend Keely, she told me to call you. And he'd be like, oh, you're so silly. I'm like, shut up, Daryl. Anyway, thank you guys. I really appreciate you. And June is correct. I need to put this up there because that is important. It is 100%. Don't forget, gang, classes coming up. If you didn't get your link, send me the message in Facebook because that's the one I'll probably check the fastest. I'm seriously going to run upstairs, stuff food in my face, and come right back down here. So I will leave the door open. I'll see you guys in class. We're going to play around with stuff today. Caleb, man, if you have questions directly about getting your creator stuff where you want to get, by all means, drop them in the chat. You can drop them in the standard comments. And, we're down here. Everybody here, Fulgens, Alex, Keely. Keely got knowledge now, so she's been sharing. My brother June, he knows more than me. If you want to know the real answer, that's the guy. Miss Eileen, she knows all the cool apps when they come up before they even come up. She know the startups when those guys are still in high school. They ain't made the idea yet. She knows. Somehow she knows all of this noise. I have no idea how she does it because I have a hard time keeping up. She's like, hey, y'all heard of this? And I'm like, What? And then Keely schooled me last week on Power for the People. Is that right? Did I say it right?
Did I school you? No, that wasn't me schooling you on that.
Oh, that was Kat.
Yeah,
It's a
that was Kat.
Canadian. Anyway, was it called Power for the People?
Remember the nice Canadian?
Something
I
like
can't
that.
remember.
Anyway,
Yeah, it
so
was
you guys should
something
have
close to
came to
that.
class. Then you would have known because that's the search tool. to
Prema's
get this
asking
stuff.
what class it is you're about to hold.
Oh, if you go to here, boom. Let's do this. If you go to this, dun, 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 and then I have. Is this right? Yes, there we go. Sorry, Keely. Here, I'll cover my face. All right, this is the Drop Squad. It's the Doc Rock P Performer Squad. You come in and we talk about all myriad things about the business side. We all try to level each other up. We are subject matter experts. Run ideas past, hey, I'm about to do this. Do you think this will work? And we have a pretty dope group. It's normally probably like 20 to 30 of us having a round table. We go deeper on stuff that we don't really cover in the streams because, it's a little bit too highbrow and then people will get bored. And we mostly listen to Rob Valls and Joel Forner's horrible jokes. And then Fulgence sits on the
Accurate.
camera really smooth. Wait, I gotta move this icon. Fulgence sits on camera really smooth like this.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I just tune in to watch him. So there
Right?
you go.
That's all he does,
And
right?
then Lem comes in with half an hour to go. And blows the scene up. So there you go.
I will tell you, it doesn't hurt to look the way Fulgens looks when you're on camera. It doesn't hurt.
I've been trying to do it, but it just doesn't work for me.
That's a good-looking fella.
Yeah.
Just
His
saying.
mama made a deal with the devil. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Maybe.
No cap.
Fulgence,
Just saying.
we making him blush. He probably already went to go look in the mirror to get ready for class. Anyway, gang, so Prem, I put the link to the chat, the class in there. And then yes, by all means, if you got time, come through. We do it every Saturday. So if you can't come today, that's cool. Every Saturday we out there having a good old time. And yes, Rob knows about his horrible jokes. So anyway, as I see you guys in class in roughly 30 minutes, Alex, thanks again, brother, for coming through. I'm going to send you a link to the class if you want to stop by and just see what we be up to. But gang, I like to leave you guys every week with one of my favoriteest things in the world. And he probably mad at me for playing this, but I don't give a shit. Here we go.
Why don't you come dance with me? It will push you.
Is this what you want now? Feels like you're looking for something bad.